He points out that whether there's a false positive or not, you shouldn't just be looking at the produce. You need to be looking at the poop. It's poop. This is where we get it. It's from poop. Cyclospora, it doesn't live on lettuce naturally. It gets there through human fecal contamination. In other words, somehow human fecal matter is getting onto the lettuce in this central Mexico town. My guess is that they've got some pretty lousy water down there. There's a reason why when we go down there, we drink tequila and not water, because this is what it'll do to you. And that's how they're watering our lettuce. Maybe we should grow lettuce here in America. Right? You know, life moves fast, and staying sharp, focused, and clear-headed isn't always easy, and that's why the same company that brings a Relief Factor has developed something new, Think Factor. Think Factor is made to help you think clearer, perform better daily. It's a powerful blend of nutrients that unlocks mental clarity and precision, nurtures your memory, and boosts your attention. All that in this little bottle that you can get, your first bottle, just $19.95. See, Think Factor brings brain power and performance together for lasting daily results. Supercharge your memory and mental sharpness. Your brain is the most valuable asset. It powers your creativity, your focus, and daily performance. But if you're feeling mentally foggy or not recalling things as quickly as you used to, well, Think Factor is for you. I take it every day, and I notice the difference. So get your first bottle for $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF.
It's time for Talktivities on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Do you have an item for Talktivities? Email it to calendar@pvbcradio.com.
The Bureau of Land Management will host a wild horse and burro adoption and sale event July 24th through the 25th at the Curry County Event Center in Clovis. The event will feature 120 wild horses and burros available for adoption or purchase. For more information, call 866-468-7826 or visit blm.gov. New Mexico families now have free access to more than 50,000 digital books through Rally Reader New Mexico at rallyreadernewmexico.com. This New Mexico Public Education Department initiative helps students of all ages stay engaged in reading during the summer months. Reading just 20 minutes a day can make a big difference.
If you have an item for Talktivities, email it to calendar@pvbcradio.com. That's calendar@pvbcradio.com.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Heads up along the Gulf Coast, Pensacola, Mobile, New Orleans, and a whole lot of places in between.
Tropical storm Bertha in the Gulf of Mexico is moving towards the Florida Panhandle and Alabama. The Miami-based National Hurricane Center said that as of early Tuesday, the storm was about 125 miles south of Panama City, Florida, and 200 miles southeast of Mobile, Alabama. Philippe Pappen is a senior hurricane specialist with the center.
The current forecast basically shows it approaching and then moving inland kind of right along the Louisiana coastline here in about 36 to 48 hours. So we're talking basically Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. And then the tracks are basically right along the Gulf Coast.
Areas of flash flooding will also be possible through Friday. I'm Haya Pinjwani.
There is a threat of more strong storms in parts of the east, the mid-Atlantic region up into the northeast. In fact, hundreds of flights have already been canceled as a precaution. A federal appeals court is rejecting a request by Joe Biden to block the release of audio recordings and transcripts of his interviews with a memoir ghostwriter before he was elected president. However, the court has put its decision on hold until August 3rd, allowing Mr. Biden more time to consider another appeal. As the U.S. continues its stepped-up attacks on Iran, and Iran responds, an Iranian proxy is threatening to stir up more trouble.
Yemen's Houthi rebels are threatening to target Saudi shipping in the Red Sea. Now, this is important because Saudi Arabia, like other Gulf nations, have been affected by Iran's chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz, through which about a fifth of all the world's oil and natural gas pass in peacetime.
Correspondent Jonathan Gambrell. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow futures up 104 points, NASDAQ futures 350 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When I was feeling the stress of too much credit card debt, I looked at two different options, debt settlement and debt management. They may sound the same, but guess what? They're not. Debt settlement seemed like a quick fix, but I found out it would destroy my credit, create tax headaches, and hit me with huge fees. They actually told me to stop paying my bills. No way, not me. Then I turned to a debt management plan developed by the team at Trinity. They worked with my creditors, lowered my payments, reduced my interest, saved me thousands, and paid off my debt. And Trinity is a Christian company, which is important to me.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-990-6976.
A man has stabbed and wounded two people near Greece's top tourist attraction.
The assailant attacked a man and a woman, both Greek Americans, with a knife on a pedestrian street near an entrance to the Acropolis itself and near the entrance to the Acropolis Museum, which lies at the foot of the Acropolis Hill in Athens. Police say the woman suffered light injuries to the leg, while the man was more seriously hurt, with wounds to the arm. The attacker was detained at the scene, while the two victims were transported to the hospital by ambulance, authorities say. The identity of the attacker was not immediately clear, but police said he appeared to have been suffering from psychological problems. The attack did not lead to any closure to the sites, which continued operating as usual. I'm Charles Tilledesma.
At least 10 people are dead. 17 others remain missing after a disaster inside an under-construction tunnel linked to a hydroelectric project in northeast India. News and analysis at townhall.com. There's concern that bad weather could further aggravate already rising gas prices.
In Chicago, Litsa Mavrathalasitis' car was close to E and needed a fill-up. She initially didn't see the sign, reading $4.59 a gallon.
Oh my gosh, gas went up again.
Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan says tensions around the world mean paying more at the gas pump.
Between Ukraine's attacks on Russia's refineries in the U.S. and Iran, that is the bulk majority of what's moving gas prices in the last week or two.
The White House has said oil and gas prices will plummet once the war with Iran ends. If this trend continues, expensive gas will likely be at the top of voters' minds leading up to the midterm elections in November. I'm Ed Donahue.
New estimates show road deaths are declining in the U.S. and abroad. Study in Lancet Public Health reveals that global road injuries and fatalities each fell more than 30% from 1990 to 2023. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
Feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to a morning without Mike Winters. I ain't he. That wouldn't be me. No, sirree, Baba-rooney. Mixmaster Mike Winters is off in another state, or currently en route to another state, to get what I believe is among the final of his Gary Laser Eyes treatments that he's been getting in, I believe it's in Lubbock. He's been getting these procedures for about the last year or so. And each one is slowly honing in the in-eye laser that he's now had installed. And basically this last visit, I'm pretty sure is just target practice. I think it's mostly just to hone in the laser itself, to make sure that it can, like pop balloons from across the room. Not that he would use it for evil, but we want to make sure that the options are there. If you're going to invest in Gary Laser Eyes, you might as well make sure you invest in them for a whole spectrum, a host of uses. And, it's a weird world that we live in. You never know what could go down, and you want to make sure that if you're going to have the laser, that you have it honed in. Last visit, I believe he got the dial put in, which was the increase of the intensity of the laser. And I believe that at that point they honed in the frequency of the laser specifically so that Mike could heat up frozen burritos, which is exciting for him because, sometimes you want a, frozen burrito, you have it sit right next to you and the microwave's all the way over there and you need this burrito now. So, you got to do what you got to do. But that being said, all that, and of course we're kidding. Mike's getting some work done on some eye issues that have been happening, some floaters and whatnot. But barring any issues, I like to think that it's Luke Skywalker there with his lightsaber, and he accidentally sneezes and it goes through Mike's head. But besides, barring any of those issues happening, Mixmaster Mike will be back inside your radios tomorrow morning to regale us with all kinds of fun stories of his excursions and incursions in the Lone Star State and the operation, or not operation. It's all post-op, in office, out of office. In fact, he's already talking about being in the mid-afternoon meeting today. I'm like, you're not going to be able to see. He's like, I don't have to see to talk. And you know what? That's fair. But Mixmaster Mike will be back inside your radios tomorrow morning. In the meantime, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the second day of the rest of your life. Hopefully all is going smoothly. I got to tell you, excuse me, I was on my way to work this morning, stopped off to put a little gas in the car. And I do mean a little gas in the car because at these prices, I'm just trying to get to payday. It's all I got to do. But that being said, I was sitting in my car, getting the gas door open and all that, and I notice off to the side of the gas station that I'm at, a plume of smoke in the sky. And I'd kind of smelled smoke before, and I'm like, that's not great. That's kind of scary. In fact, this time of the morning, seeing a fire off to the corner of my eye. And so I get out of my car, and I noticed I wasn't offended by the smell. Normally when it's a controlled burn, you're burning off garbage or wood, it's going to smell either like the wood you're burning or, well, the garbage. And it didn't smell like either one of those things. And so I gave it another little sniff. And then it occurred to me, yes, 'tis the season. They were roasting green chilies. That's right. You've probably seen them all those different grocery stores. They got their roasters out. It's funny. They almost like roll them out early, like Hobby Lobby rolls out Halloween and Christmas stuff. It's like it's July. You guys are already talking. Never mind. But you've seen the roasters out at the stores. The bushels of chilies have been piling up in the fronts of the stores. You can buy those unroasted if you prefer, if you want to be a psychopath about it. But they will have the roasters on hand to roast up that green chili. And I got to say, it feels early this year. I think maybe a lot of that comes down to we've had a lot more humidity, a lot more moisture. The yields, the crops are probably coming in a lot more bumper than we've had over the past several years, which is a good thing. It means we're going to have, hopefully, a pretty decent crop this year of chilies. But what that also means is they're probably going to be a lot hotter. So just bear that in mind. Even your milds are probably going to knock your socks off, especially if we're talking about those big gyms. Those even the milds, the extra miles, I'm usually okay with, but those once you get up to like mid-mild to medium, you're kicking me out of the bed. You really are. It's it's a rough go with that level of spice and this level of whiteness. You have to remember, my people are like native dish is shepherd's pie, which has flavor, but has no spice level. So for me to adjust to the level of green chiliness that I have adjusted to, I think it's appropriate. But that being said, it is the season. Get ready and get raring, because your next bushel of roasted green chilies could be here in just a matter of days, which also means you're going to start seeing the green chili and the roasters out at the farmers and gardeners market each Saturday on the courthouse lawn. Now, they've moved the time up an hour, so I believe it opens at 8 o'clock now. So you want to get there a little bit later than normal, but definitely get there early, because that's when all the good stuff is there. If you want the best selection, the best variety of things, get there early, because that's when the temps are going to be lower, and that's when the selection is at its best. So again, green chili season, it is here, and I, for one, am very excited. Let me give you the rundown for today's program. We have a full slate of guests for today's show. Starting off here in the 7 o'clock hour here in just a few minutes, we are scheduled to have Daniel or the folks from Havens of Hope here. We'll be chatting with them about their organization, what they're all about, and any events that they have coming up to put them on your calendar. So we'll chit-chat with them coming up here in just a few minutes. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, around 8:15 or so, we have scheduled the new CEO of Loveless, Miss Dr. Tracy Stratton, and we'll talk to them coming up here in just a little bit. Actually, may not be doctor, just registered nurse, but either way, we'll be chatting with the new CEO of Loveless, Miss Tracy Stratton, coming up here in just a little bit. Give us an idea of her history and kind of some of the things that she's responsible for and done in her history, and what she plans to do here in Roswell with Loveless Regional Hospital. So we'll chat with her coming up here in the 8 o'clock hour. Then in the 9 o'clock hour, we have scheduled Miss Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico. And I believe also Adam Rowe will be joining as well. We'll be chatting about the Heritage Dinner that is coming up, and the celebration of the Rowe family and of the legacy of Peppers. We'll be chatting with them coming up here in the 9 o'clock hour. Plus, of course, all your hourly features, Kim Commando, your Sean Hannity update. I'm sure Uncle Otis will have something to pop off about in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll get into that here in just a bit. But right now, at 15 minutes after 7 o'clock, let us get you up to date with the weather.
Weather this hour brought to you by Southwest Bearing under new ownership. Custom solutions for your heavy equipment, hydraulic hoses, hose repair, bearings, seals, sprockets, belts, tools, fluids, and fittings.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like that monsoon moisture will stay off to our west, so we'll be getting sunshine today and pretty hot, upper 90s on the afternoon high. Wind should stay pretty light. Overnight will be clear, lows in the low 70s. We're going up to 100 or a little bit over for the afternoon high on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine, low 100s, and sunny again on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, and let me refresh this here. We are currently sitting at 71 degrees round Roswell Way. Humidity is at 81%. Winds are calm at the moment. The barometer at about 30.06 inches with a dew point of 65 degrees and a visibility of about 10 whole miles. Looking at another scorcher, as we mentioned yesterday, all the blue days are gone. Nothing but yellow and orange days ahead. Mostly sunny, 98 for the high today. Winds are going to be light out of the southeast, 10 to 15 miles an hour later in the afternoon. For tonight, mostly clear, getting down to 72 for the overnight low. Winds out of the south, 10 to 15 miles an hour, becoming light after midnight. For your Wednesday, sunny skies, hot, 101 for the high. Winds are going to be light and variable, about 10 to 15 miles an hour in the morning. And for your Wednesday night, mostly clear, getting down to 72 for the overnight low. Winds out of the south, 10 to 15 miles an hour, becoming light after midnight. More of the same for your Thursday. Sunny, hot, 104 for the high. Winds calm 10 to 15. Thursday night, mostly clear, 74 for the overnight low. For your Friday, sunny skies, hot, 106 for the high. As mentioned, we're staying pretty much in the the mid-century mark for the foreseeable future. 105 for the high on Friday, 104 for Saturday, 104 for Sunday, and another 104-degree day for your Monday. So hopefully you got all the stuff that you needed to get done before the day gets to its peak heat, because it's going to be a scorcher out there. Just something to let you know. Hang on, I gotta check this. I'm getting a text here from Mixmaster Mike Winters. Daniel will call. Okay, so we are apparently expecting a phone call from Daniel from Havens of Hope. Let me connect my Bluetooth. This would have been great information to have just a bit ago. But that being said, we move forward. This is morning radio, and this is what we do. So with that in mind, we will be hopefully getting a call here in just a few minutes from Daniel from Havens of Hope. We'll get into that coming up here in just a bit. But hey, in the meantime, I did want to put something on your radar. Coming up this weekend, there's a big event going on with the Roswell Community Little Theater. It's Curtains Rising, their annual Curtains Rising event. It kicks off the Roswell Community Little Theater season, and that's going to be happening July 25th, 6 p.m. at the Liberty at 312 North Virginia. This flyer is so AI. It's very painful. But that being said, it is a great chance to come on out, chit-chat with the folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater, find out more about the upcoming season with the Roswell Community Little Theater, and they're going to be doing some steampunk activities there as well. So come on out and enjoy the Melodrama Pony Espresso, as well as the steampunk costume contest, door prizes, live auctions, silent auctions, and more. Doors are going to open up at 6, and the show is going to start at 7 o'clock. And that's all going down July 25th. That's this Saturday at the Liberty. 6 p.m. is the time. So come on out and be a part of the Roswell Community Little Theater and the Curtains Rising program. That's going to be happening again this weekend at the Roswell Community Little Theater. Apparently, according to Mixmaster Mike, we are waiting on a phone call from Daniel from Havens of Hope, and there he is. So with that in mind, let us take a quick break, and we'll be back on the other side of these with Daniel from Havens of Hope on A Morning Without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
The Eddy County Fair is here.
Get ready for the 81st Annual Eddy County Fair. Kick things off with the annual Fair Parade. Friday the 17th. Lineup begins at 6 p.m. at the Bulldog Bowl, and the parade starts at 7 p.m. Then join us July 21st through the 25th for 5 days of family fun at the Eddy County Fair. Enjoy the daily carnival, livestock shows, exhibits, delicious fair food, and entertainment for all ages. Don't miss JD and the Badlands and the Josh Abbott Band Tuesday night. Shane and Shane for Faith and Family Night on Wednesday. La Original Banda El Limon and Los Marineros del Norte for Tejano Night on Thursday. And Friday's smoking hot bull riding, followed by Walker Hayes live in concert. Plus, don't miss the Jack Roush Anvil Toss, Fire and Ice Competition, Cornhole, and the 4-H and FFA Junior Livestock Auction on Saturday. For the full schedule and tickets, visit EddyCountyFair.com. The 81st Annual Eddy County Fair, July 21st through the 25th. This ad paid for by Eddy County and Artesia Lodgers Tax.
If you want to install a new roof, you can do it the cheap way, or you can do it the right way. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and one of our customers recently found this out the hard way. He was going to hire us to re-roof his roof, but he found someone to do the job for $2,000 cheaper. Half a year later, this customer called us to re-inspect his brand new roof. Turns out this contractor was not a contractor at all. He had no license and no insurance. The roof was installed incorrectly and never had been passed by the city inspector. We had to re-roof his brand new roof, tear off the shingles, and start from scratch. It was the most expensive $2,000 anyone has ever saved. If you need a roof installed the right way, you can trust who your neighbors trust. You can trust Trustmark Roofing for no obligation to the penny quote on your roof transformation. Call 575-755-ROOF. That's 575-755-7663.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Exciting news for Southeast New Mexico. The Advanced Heart and Vascular Center of New Mexico in Carlsbad, home to Dr. Amanda Ryan's trusted cardiology care for over 13 years, is now part of Current Clinic. That means world-class electrophysiology services right here in Southeast New Mexico. No more 3-hour drives to see a specialist. Current Clinic is bringing advanced, life-changing treatment for atrial fibrillation, AFib, and other heart rhythm disorders close to home. Early intervention for AFib can dramatically lower your risk of stroke, and our goal is to help our community understand just how important that is. You and your loved ones deserve comprehensive, cutting-edge heart care without leaving town. If you're experiencing an irregular heartbeat or AFib symptoms, expert care is now available locally. Visit currentclinic.com today to learn more and schedule your consultation. Current Clinic, easy access to comprehensive AFib care right here in Southeast New Mexico.
Good morning. This is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 550 head of cattle sold on Monday on the lower market on limited receipts with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves sold 20 to 30 lower, feeder cattle 10 to 15 lower. Packer cows, bulls steady, $5 lower. 3 to 400 pound steers $5.45, $5.55. 3 to 400 pound heifers $4.82, $4.95. 4 to 500 pound steers $4.62, $5.45. 4 to 500 pound heifers $4.07, $4.82. 5 to 600 pound steers $4, $4.62. 5 to 600 pound heifers $3.70, $4.07. 6 700 pound steers $3.54. $6 to 700 pound heifers $3.47, $3.70. 7 800 pound steers $3.25, $3.50. 7 800 pound heifers $3.20, $3.47. Packer cows $1.75, $1.82. Canner and cutter cows $1.64, $1.74. Packer bulls $2.08, $2.31. Feeder bulls $1.87, $1.90. Top half the cow calf pairs $3,500 to $4,100 per pair. Top half the bred cows $3,000 to $3,600 per head. We do appreciate the business. We'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 24 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Morning Without Mike Winters. And joining us on the phone this morning from the Haven of Hope, Daniel, how are you doing this morning?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing good. So first and foremost, a beautiful day around here, and I'm sure you're enjoying some sunshine and some summertime as well. But it's not always a beautiful day for the youngest among us. They get exposed to a lot. So tell us a little bit about the Haven of Hope and your organization and what you guys the goal of your organization is.
Yeah, I would love to. So you are very right. It's a beautiful day, but for a lot of kids, they're not enjoying what we get to enjoy every single day. Right. And so our mission is very, very simple, but can be very, very life-changing for many different kids. We rescue kids from broken situations and give them the stability that they need. Our main goal is to make a kid feel like a kid again, to be able to restore them, to be able to make it to where they can know that they're loved and appreciated and cared for. And so we'll take kids from families that have been through incarceration, drug addiction, homelessness. We just had some kids come by not too long ago that came with only the clothes on their backs. Wow. They had blood spots on their clothes, and they were struggling with a lot of things. And then really just the consistency that you can give them, and just, having their own beds, their own furnishings, daily schedule, private school education, and a community that loves them. And just being able to have that in their life, it is just incredible to see how much they grow.
Absolutely. You touched on something there that I think is so important, and it gets overlooked so often in these situations, and that's consistency. Because when you're dealing with a family that's maybe going through financial struggles, maybe they're dealing with drug or alcohol addiction, you never know where your next bed's going to be. You never know if you're going to be staying with the friends or if you're going to be in the car that night. I think back to my childhood and, growing up with an abusive and alcoholic father. And there were nights when we woke up behind there's a hotel here in Roswell. I woke up sleeping in our minivan behind the Sallyport because it got so volatile at home that we took off and spent the night in the Aerostar, and those are the kinds of things. And I'm a man in my 40s, and that's one of those crystallized memories in my head that has stayed forever. So that consistency is so important in a child's life, and the fact that Haven of Hope provides that consistency and that schedule, that routine, that's an amazing thing. But that's also something that's so vital for kids.
Yeah, and that's really one of the biggest things that we try to make sure and implement, is because, like you said, some of these kids that are coming in, actually all of them, their core memories aren't going to Chuck E. Cheese. Right. Their core memory isn't going to a vacation spot during the weekend. Their core memory is those moments, like you just said, and coming from, I've had things in my life too, and just coming from those situations and understanding, man, those kids don't deserve that. Right. Those kids deserve consistency. Nothing that they did, every kid that has come through our system has gone there through no fault of their own. And it is just, it's so precious when you see, because at first, I would say the hardest thing for us is just knowing, just how broken they are when they first come. Yeah. And just helping them work through those emotions, helping them work through those inconsistencies, the instability, the way of life that they think that is normal.
Right.
And
changing that perspective,
and
I think, too.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And so, because, man, it's when you look around, it's hard to get your eyes off yourself.
Right.
But once you see how many kids are truly just in the neighborhood, 2 blocks down, and they're crying out for help.
Right.
And that's our job, is just to rescue as many kids as we possibly can. And what we do is we have long-term placements, so they stay there for 24/7.
Right.
We have a home-like environment. They all eat at the same dinner table. They have, multiple little living rooms that they get to hang around. They have 24/7 care with cottage assistants and people that stay with them all the time. They get themselves involved in activities. They have a church that they go to, and it's just it's an incredible opportunity for these kids.
Now, is this all run out of one facility, or are there multiple homes that are used to house these kids?
Yeah, so we are based in Clovis, New Mexico, but we take kids all through the nation. So we will either take kids through CYFD placement. They'll call us and they'll say, "Hey, we have a kid," and then even there's times when they'll call us and they'll say, "Hey, there's 2 kids in this office and they have nowhere to go." And it's just, man, I've never been, a part of one of those voicemails until not too long ago, and just hearing that voicemail it'll change you. But so we're based in Clovis, New Mexico, and we have one facility where it used to be a senior residence home. We are on 17 acres, 30,000 square feet, and we started renovating back in 2018 to be able to make it livable and a home environment for these kids. And we take kids all through the nation by parents or guardians that are dealing with those kind of struggles. Right. And we take them in and we we give those consistencies back to the kid. We rescue the kid. We give them the stability. A lot of those kids, when they come in, their private education is way behind track.
Right.
And some of them are very smart, but they've just never been taught. Their teeth are yellow as could be. They've never had a consistent hygiene regimen. Just different things like that. We take in the kid. We give them those consistencies. We give them their true love to let them know that they matter and that they're cared for. And then while we have them, that gives the parent the opportunity to be able to get the help that they need.
And that was actually
go to rehab.
That was my next question. Was because when you mentioned that you work with CYFD and with law enforcement in local areas, a lot of times, and when I've talked to folks who have worked with with organizations like CYFD, they've said that their top priority, is keeping the family unit whole. and situations, present themselves that don't allow that to happen. But the ultimate goal is to make sure that the family unit comes back together as whole. So is that a situation where, if a parent gets things back together, they get their job, they get their stability back, is that a situation where then it's presented to the child as an option to stay or to go, or is it kind of out of their hands?
Yeah. So we, as far as the child, some of these, because we take kids from 0 to 18 years old.
Sure.
And so a lot of these, these children are around 6 to 7 years old. Mm-hmm. So really, of course, we're looking at to see what is best for the kid.
Right.
And of course, we always let the kid have a say and talk and communicate his feelings, and we take that very, very seriously. And we would do whatever is best for the child at that point.
Right.
Our main goal, 100%, is reunification with the family.
Sure.
And we have seen a good amount of kids through our program. We've served 56 children since 2016 or 2018. I'm sorry, and we have seen them. Many kids go through and have that reunification with their family after they have received their help. Mm-hmm. We've been able to keep sibling groups together, but the main goal absolutely is reunification.
Sure.
With the family after that they receive the help that they have.
Right.
Actually, just not too long ago, the kids that came with only the clothes behind, on their backs,
mm-hmm.
that mom was able to go and get a job. She was able to start building her life back together. Mm-hmm. She was able to get some help with some drug addiction that she was going through, and it made it to where she was able to take her kids back, because every kid wants their mom and dad, and that's what we strive to do. And she was able to work towards that ability to get her kids back, mm-hmm. and to be able to love on them while still giving them the security and the stability and the bed for them.
Sure. And it's also going to be hard from the perspective of the caregiver, from the perspective of Haven of Hope, because it's one of those situations where kids will look at their parents as superheroes. For a window of time, mom and dad are the greatest human being on the planet. And to have that mindset, but then to see your superhero fail, it's one of those things you don't actually realize until later in life, that what you were witnessing was a chink in the armor, for lack of a better term. But you never saw that because of the blinding of the hero worship that kids tend to have for mom and dad. That's got to be a hard thing from your perspective, from having to kind of, for lack of a better term, deprogram and reprogram a child to understand that the situation they were in was less than ideal.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is because we try to make sure that none of these kids, they shouldn't have to bear anything
mm-hmm.
that they don't need to bear.
Right.
A 6-year-old shouldn't have to know that the dad's in jail for murder and the mom's highly addicted to drugs.
Mm-hmm.
All he knows is that he loves his mom and dad,
right.
and he's wondering what's going on. Yeah. And so that is one thing that we really take serious at the Haven of Hope, is the protection of the kid and making sure that they are not having to hear things that they don't need to hear, mm-hmm. and just really going through that reprogramming and, helping them to realize. And really a lot of them will even, if you were to ask them, hey, how are you loving the Haven of Hope? They know that they are getting what they've never had before, and really it just takes time.
Right.
It takes time for them to see, okay, so it's normal to go to school, mm-hmm. and it takes time. Oh, I am loved. Right. It takes time to have those moments. I just talked to a girl not too long ago, and we just celebrated her birthday. And I asked her, I said, hey, out of all the birthdays that you've ever had, what has been your favorite birthday? And without any time at all of thought, she just said, this is my favorite birthday. I've never gotten anything before. And we started talking about it a little bit more, and she was just, talking about how she got so much love and cared. And this is someone who is about 9 or 10 years old.
Sure.
And she's never experienced a birthday. She's never experienced someone who actually cared and loved her for you. And she came not too long ago, and just like you said, she's starting to go through that reprogramming, that realization that life isn't what she's only seen before.
Right. It's not
because
It's not what you have to accept. It's that there can be more to it than what you've been presented.
Exactly. Because really, you look at how some of the corruption of the world, and you would ask yourself, okay, well, how was their childhood like? And they've never known anything other than that.
Right.
And so just getting that reprogramming in, absolutely.
Now, I am curious because you mentioned that you work with law enforcement, with CYFD, to and that they generally come to you. But I am curious if say, for example, a parent is struggling, is going through a hard time, realizes that they themselves need help. Is that a situation where you can work with both the kid and take them in and maybe find resources for the parent as well?
Yeah, we would absolutely love to help the parents. Our main goal, of course, is the child.
Sure.
But we want to make sure and help the parent. And I know the heart of the executive director here is like no other. He cares and he loves. And there is not, I don't think, another person that I know of that has a heart for children more than him. And he has a heart to want to see the family restored. Right. And so I know there have been times when the parents have come to him, and if they've ever asked for anything, as in wisdom, knowledge, or any kind of resources, I know that our executive director would not just close the door open.
Right.
I know that he would help them, because you think about it, some of these parents went through the life of the children, and all they know is now that they're parents. They've never seen any different. They've never been, aware of how to do life. They don't even, they don't even know how to do a resume.
Right.
And they're struggling. And so, yeah, we would never turn our backs on parents that are needing help with reunification, and if they needed any kind of resources, we would always try to help as much as we possibly could.
Awesome. Now let's talk about the less than comfortable part, because obviously all of these resources, all of these facilities, and providing the best that we can for these kids, it ain't free. So I'm obviously the Haven of Hope is a 501c3, so you guys are a nonprofit organization. How can one reach out and help, maybe assist with financially, or is there an organization that you partner with to provide funding?
Yeah, so we used to be a branch of a nonprofit children's home, and they were going to be closing it down just to be able to focus more on their main home in Florida. Mm-hmm. And like I said, the executive director had a heart. He didn't want to see those that were placed in New Mexico care. He didn't want to see these kids fall through. Right. And so he took over the entity completely. In 2025, we became known as the Haven of Hope. Okay. And so really what we've been doing right now is really wanting and seeking partners and people to come, because like you said, this kind of opportunity that we have to be able to rescue kids is not just our organization being able to rescue. It's individuals mm-hmm. and corporations and companies that get behind that say, hey, I want to rescue too.
Right.
And, so, at the very beginning, really, it hasn't been easy in some ways. Mm-hmm. We've been trying to rebuild what was, already strong and foundation, just becoming our own entity.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of growth. We're seeing a lot of progress. But definitely that is one of the biggest goals that we're having right now. We have like I said, we've served 56 children, and 31 children have been reunified or placed in permanent homes. 13 sibling groups have been kept together, and that's still counting. Mm-hmm. And they all receive private education. And we were put on a 17-acre, 30,000 square foot facility in 2018. And that is incredible for the opportunity for growth.
Absolutely.
We started, and to get the ball rolling, we renovated one wing. We renovated the main front side of it. And we have a lot of opportunity for renovations.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a maximum for 14 beds.
Okay.
And after that, we would have to cancel out any kind of kid that would want to come in, just because our capacity wouldn't allow it. So one of the biggest things that we're doing to never have to turn down a kid, because hope should never be limited to space, is we're starting our capital campaign. We're calling phase 1 of expanding hope.
Okay.
And we're renovating another wing that used to be, it was all a senior residence home. And so that wing is, it looked more like a senior residence home. It's a, brick wall. It had blue and white paint. It had really wide doors for wheelchairs.
It had a certain smell. I'm just kidding. I'm totally
kidding.
It always do.
No, it did. It does. And so really what we did for our other wing that, the kids are staying in right now is we closed in those doors. We put sheetrock over the brick wall. We made it into where they had their own beds. We made it feel like home.
Mm-hmm.
And we took away the smell. So that's phase 1. But yeah, like you said, man, that is one of the biggest limitations that stops us from being able to rescue more kids. Is just we're just striving for just being able to grow and just take on partners, take on individual donors that want to be a part of the Havens family. And they'll be, monthly donors get called the Haven Heroes, because we're not just the heroes. It's people that are investing in these kids that are the heroes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so if you're an organization either in the Clovis area or even here in, in the Pecos Valley, the Roswell, Dexter Hagerman area, and you're, a business or you're an organization, and you can financially assist a program like this, every single cent goes straight back into the program. We're not paying corporate salaries here. It's all going to provide beds and to provide rooms, and as we've been saying all along, to provide hope, to give these kids an idea, a glimpse of what actual love and actual hope can look like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We have a volunteer board. We don't have none of the money would go for paying staffing expenses. I mean, this is for the kids, and we take that seriously. Most of the staffing, those that are full time, are doing it not because of the pay whatsoever in any way.
Right.
I mean, they could get far greater pay a lot of different ways.
Absolutely.
But they have a heart for the kid. And so whoever decided to donate to this to our organization, they would have the security of knowing it's not going to staff. It's not going to things it's not supposed to. It's not going to the board. It's going to the little girl that just said that she had the best birthday.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
And I have a friend who years ago, he was kind of put through the ringer and put through the foster care system here in the state of New Mexico. And he's a success story. He came out of it. He went to college. He got himself a decent career as he does credit restoration. And so he's made a decent amount of money, but he's constantly giving back to organizations, much like yourself, that provide an out for kids so that while he attributes his success to the struggle, he also knows what the struggle was like. And so having that mindset allows him to give a lot more freely to these organizations to help give these kids, a leg up, a step up, some assistance, so they're not just clawing from the bottom. And so it's things like that. If it's on the heart of a business or of a CEO of somebody who runs an organization, please do give. And if somebody does want to make a donation, or if they want to reach out and maybe partner with the Haven of Hope to help see your vision through, how do they reach out to you?
Yeah, so they can reach out to me personally. I'm the Director of Development, so my name is Daniel Smiles.
Okay.
My number is 661-478-8675. And then we also have a website called the havenofhopeclovis.com, and they're able to become a friend, become a Haven hero. They can donate monthly. They can donate one individual gift. They can call the office up. We have contact information. They can go ahead and email on the Haven of Hope. There's an email. It's info@havenofhopeclovis.com.
Mm-hmm.
They're able to email me. My name is, the email is dsmiles, SMYLES, @havenofhopeclovis.com. And we would love to talk to them and just share them individually the impact that we're having and how they can be involved.
And also, and I was jotting down your phone number so I can give that out again, but I don't know if you'd mentioned this, but you do have a Facebook page as well.
Yep.
And that's another great way you can actually, there's a message option right at the top. So if you click that message option, a little window will pop up. You can immediately ask it a question, or, say, I want to be a part of I want to be, a Haven hero, or I want to be a part of the organization, and they'll instantly reach back out to you. So.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have a Facebook page, and we have an Instagram page, and we have even a Twitter page. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find the Haven of Hope on LinkedIn. And really all you got to do is just type in the Haven of Hope Children's Home on Facebook or Instagram, and you'll be able to get exactly what you were talking about.
There you go. And it also gives you kind of an idea of, you get to see the smiles on these kids' faces. And, it's the payoff, essentially, for all of the hard work, all of the struggles that these kids have gone through. Those smiles are the payoff. And it's an amazing thing. So, again, Daniel, reach out if you are an organization or just an individual and you want to help out. Reach out to Daniel Smiles. Number is 661-478-8675. Or, again, you can find the Haven of Hope Children's Home on Facebook as well. And they got all the info that you need to know. Daniel, did we get everything?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And please keep up the great work. You guys are doing amazing things, and it's one of those situations where your pay is partly pay, but it's also partly knowing that you are having such an impact. And that's an amazing thing. So thank you so much for all you do. And don't be a stranger. If you have any more information you want to pass along, or maybe a fundraiser event you guys are doing, reach back out and we'll see what we can do for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We will. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Daniel, with the Havens of Hope Children's Home. Big thanks to you. 11 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Let us pause and get you up to date with some news.
SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. On orders from President Trump, additional 50% tariffs going to be imposed on some Canadian imports. The president accusing Canada of unfairly discriminating against American products. Iran remains defiant, attacking a tanker in the Strait of Hormuz, forcing its crew to abandon the ship. The U.S. conducted yet another round of airstrikes on Iranian targets overnight, 10th consecutive night of such attacks. Lebanon's president will be meeting with President Trump later today, that to take place at the White House. Former U.S. Army soldier is under arrest in New York City, accused of starting a fire and firing a pellet gun outside a lower Manhattan federal building. And Senator Darlene Graham announces that she is running for the full term in her late brother Lindsey Graham's U.S. Senate seat. Stocks opening higher this morning on Wall Street. More details, srnnews.com.
Here's a number that should stop you cold. Right now, internet bots create more traffic on the internet than all the living humans. Online, we are the minority. I'm Kim Commando for ExpressVPN. With one click, ExpressVPN keeps your online activity private and secure. Get 4 extra months at expressvpn.com/Kim. Cloudflare, the company that guards 1/5 of the web, just rolled out its answer to bot traffic. It's called Precursor. No more clicking fire hydrants, bikes, and traffic lights and blurry photos. Instead, it watches how you move your mouse, how you scroll, your typing rhythm, even how you switch between tabs. Turns out humans have a motion fingerprint that a bot can't fake, yet. Part of me says, thank goodness, those traffic light puzzles were the worst. The other part reads the fine print. To prove you're human, a company now studies your every twitch. Privacy for convenience, one wiggle at a time. The bots took over the internet, and the humans, We're the ones taking the test. Get my newsletter, getkim.com.
AI is changing the world, and there's no question it's making technology smarter. But it's also making it easier than ever for companies to learn more about you through your online activity. Websites you visit, searches you run, and apps you use can reveal more about you than you realize. That's just one reason I use ExpressVPN. It encrypts my internet connection to help keep my personal information more secure online. Whether I'm checking email or shopping online, I know ExpressVPN is quietly working in the background. I also like how super easy it is to use. Really, one tap on my phone, laptop, desktop, or tablet, and I'm connected. Plus, one subscription now covers up to 14 devices at once. That's enough to protect your entire household. Best of all, it comes with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. So take your online privacy seriously with ExpressVPN. Right now, get 4 extra months by going to expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim, expressvpn.com/Kim.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
You know, recently they changed the name of that planet to avoid the joke. It's now called Eurectum. 7 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like that monsoon moisture will stay off to our west, so we'll be getting sunshine today and pretty hot, upper 90s on the afternoon high. Wind should stay pretty light. Overnight will be clear, lows in the low 70s. We're going up to 100 or a little bit over for the afternoon high on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine, low 100s and sunny again on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Yeah, okay, we get it. It's going to be hot. 71 degrees currently around Roswell Way. Humidity is at 81%. Winds are calm at the moment. The barometer at 30.06 inches with a dew point of 65 degrees. Looking for mostly sunny skies. And yeah, Steve Hamilton said it himself. 98 degrees for the high. Sunny skies. Winds are going to be calm, 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, mostly clear, getting down to 72 for the overnight low. Winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Once again, sunny, hot, past the century mark. 101 for the high on Wednesday, 72 and mostly clear for the overnight low. Not a lot of wind in the forecast for the foreseeable future either. So, I mean, it won't be hot, dusty wind in your face. It just won't be any wind in your face, which is always fun. Sunny and stagnant. Oh, that's great. Sunny skies, 104 degrees for the high on Thursday, 74 for the overnight low on Thursday night. And for Friday, mostly clear. Sunny skies, 105 for the high. Partly cloudy, 75 for the overnight low Friday night. We do have a slight chance for some showers come Saturday night. 104 for the high on Saturday, but a slight 20% chance for some showers and thunderstorms beginning around midnight on Saturday night, a low of around 74 degrees. 104 for the high on Sunday and 104 for the high on Monday as well. 5 minutes away from 8 o'clock, let us get you up to date with your Wall Street Business Report.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. gasoline prices jumped to an average $4 a gallon again on Monday as the U.S. and Iran launched more attacks. The average price a year ago was $3.14 a gallon. A federal judge on Monday ordered Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery to halt their $81 billion merger, allowing states that are challenging the deal more time to see their case through the court. JetBlue Airways has won Spirit Airlines slots at New York's LaGuardia Airport and is looking to move back into the failed budget carrier's old home, less than 3 months after the discounter collapsed in the biggest U.S. airline failure in decades. Domino's Pizza recorded second quarter results that exceeded revenue expectations, while the company's shares climbed 4.7% in pre-market trading following the release. During the quarter, Domino's expanded its global footprint by a net 209 stores, including 26 new locations in the United States and 183 internationally. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Attention, attention. They've done it again. For 3 years in a row, Roswell Hyundai is the #1 used car supercenter in New Mexico. Whether you're in the market for a large truck, a super high-end luxury vehicle, or an affordable car for first-time buyers, the Roswell Hyundai Used Car Supercenter has one that fits your needs and your budget. So if you're looking for the best deal on your next vehicle, head for the #1 Used Car Supercenter in southeastern New Mexico 3 years straight. Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
This summer, enjoy outdoor family fun with seamless Wi-Fi, now available from Plateau. Great news, Roswell. Construction on Zone 39 is officially complete. Save on the speed you need with Plateau. Switch today and get reliable, blazing fast speed to stream more, game more, and surf more than ever before. Plus consistent billing and no data caps. And with Plateau, you'll save more too. Call 1-877-PLATEAU or log on to plateautel.com today. Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Summer heat in New Mexico can affect more than just your skin. Artesia General Hospital and board-certified urologist Dr. Michael C. Speck, MD, remind you, protect your urinary health while traveling and enjoying the outdoors. Stay well hydrated to prevent kidney stones and urinary tract infections, which become more common in hot weather. Drink plenty of water, limit caffeine and alcohol, and empty your bladder regularly. Wear loose, breathable clothing and practice good hygiene during long road trips or outdoor adventures. If you're experiencing pain during urination, back pain, or blood in urine, don't wait. Seek care early. Dr. Michael C. Speck specializes in kidney stones, prostate health, men's wellness, and more. Right here in Artesia. For expert urology care close to home, trust Artesia General Hospital. Artesia General Hospital. Healthy summers start here with Dr. Michael C. Speck.
Hey, Roswell, time is running out to cash in on some of the biggest savings of the season. The loan and lease termination sales event is happening right now at Roswell Ford. Drive away with a truckload of savings in a brand new Ford F-Series pickup with financing as low as 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to get you out of your trade, even if you owe up to $10,000 more than it's worth. Have less than perfect credit? Roswell Ford works with a network of aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Get on board at Roswell Ford during our loan and lease termination event and get huge savings on all new F-Series trucks, America's top-selling pickup in each of the past 49 years. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 26 months is $27.78 per thousand finance on F-150 trucks. Excludes Raptor. Interest accrues from date of sale. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
Limo pepper. Coming up on the 8 o'clock hour, stay tuned. Next hour, we're going to be pulling double duty. We got Ms. Tamara from the Chaves County Extension Office going to be chatting about all the summertime activity that'd be happening. Then we'll be sitting down chatting with the new Loveless CEO, Ms. Tracy Stratton. We'll be doing that, getting an idea of what she has in store for us with Loveless Regional Hospital. That's coming up on the other side of these on a morning without Mike Winters. Stick around. Let's see what happens.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. A Republican-held U.S. Senate seat may stay in the family, as correspondent Laura Winters explained.
Darlene Graham says she prayed on it and has decided she will run for her late brother's Senate seat. Graham says President Trump urged her to jump into the race and run for the full 6-year term in South Carolina. Graham saying on her X page, "I've made a decision. I'm in."
Darlene Graham was sworn in last week to fill out the remaining months of the late Senator Lindsey Graham's term, which ends in January. Barring a successful appeal, Joe Biden will have to release audio recordings and transcripts of his interviews with a memoir ghostwriter before he was elected president. That's a ruling of a federal appeals court. Iran remains defiant.
10 consecutive nights of U.S. strikes haven't forced Tehran to loosen its grip on the Strait of Hormuz, through which about a fifth of all traded crude oil and natural gas previously passed. The UK's Maritime Trade Operations Agency says it's received multiple reports of a tanker being hit by a projectile 8 nautical miles off the coast of Oman. Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard claimed the attack and those on 2 other ships targeted in the waterway since Sunday. As fighting has intensified between the US and Iran, mediators have stepped up efforts to revive the interim peace deal signed last month.
The BBC's Yolande Nell. On orders from President Trump, additional 50% tariffs going to be imposed on some Canadian imports. The president accusing the Canadians of unfairly discriminating against American goods. Tropical storm Bertha building strength in the Gulf of America, moving toward the Florida Panhandle. Stocks are higher this morning on Wall Street. The Dow's up 189 points. The Nasdaq Composite Index ahead 227, and the S&P is better by 38 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. Christian Healthcare Ministries is not another health insurance policy. If you're tired of year-long contracts and pointless restrictions, CHM offers anytime enrollment on your schedule and at your convenience. With CHM, you're paying half the cost of a traditional health insurance plan. So that puts more money back into your budget for everyday needs. Plus, you'll have access to CHM's care solutions for virtual appointments, prescription savings, surgery support, and more. My family and I joined in 2018, and it's changed our lives for the better. We love paying way less while helping other believers afford their medical bills. Take the leap of faith and see why Christians across the nation are better with CHM.
Get started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS for a 50% credit towards your first month. That's 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS.
The sentence is life for a one-time drug lord in New York, and prosecutors pleased with the punishment.
In Brooklyn, former Sinaloa cartel kingpin Ismael El Mayo Zambada has been sentenced to life in prison after pleading guilty last year to drug trafficking.
El Mayo was the world's single biggest drug trafficker this century.
U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella says it's a worthy sentence after a years-long fight to bring the Mexican drug lord to justice.
A life sentence, cut off from family, cut off from freedom, cut off from the outside world, is fitting punishment for the harm that El Mayo has caused to countless victims.
At his hearing, Zambada apologized for the harm he caused and called for an end to the cycle of drug violence. Judge Brian Cogan honored a defense request that the 76-year-old be recommended to a federal prison hospital where he can be treated for age-related illnesses. I'm Jennifer King.
News and analysis at townhall.com. The Women's Tennis Association is introducing one-time mandatory genetic testing for all players, effective today.
It's a requirement to compete at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. The WTA has updated its women's eligibility policy to include gender screening based on biological sex this week to preserve the integrity of women's professional tennis and maintain fair competition conditions for all players. The new policy takes the organization in line with the eligibility policy introduced by the IOC in March to align with President Trump's executive order on sports ahead of the 2028 Olympics. Keith Peters, Washington.
Federal judge is ordering Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery to halt their $81 billion merger for at least 2 weeks. This allows states that are challenging the deal more time to see their case through in court. They argue the combination would harm competition. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. The deuce of a morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the second day of the rest of your life. And one of the final dwindling days of summer vacation. That's right, kids. It's going away a lot faster than it came on. Summertime is almost over. And we're actually, I don't know if we've officially entered the dog days of summer. I think that actually starts in August because the idea is we're under the dog star of Sirius, which is, I believe, August. But let me see when the dog days of summer start, because I'm pretty sure we are, if not in them, we are on the cusp of them, because boy howdy, it's getting hot out there, and it's going to be that way pretty much for the next few couple of weeks, actually. Let's see, the dog days of summer, yeah, we're actually smack dab in them. They fall between Friday, July 3rd and Tuesday, August the 11th. Of 2026. So yeah, we are smack dab in the middle of the dog days of summer. In case you was curious, it's gonna be a scorcher out there. But yeah, back to school season is upon us. I think once again this year, the tax-free weekend, I believe, is gonna be after the start of school, after the start of the school season. But also coming up just after the start of the school season is the National Night Out that we're going to be having here in Roswell. Let's see, tax-free weekend 2026, Friday, July. Okay, so I'm wrong. It's actually Friday, July 31st through Sunday, August 2nd is the New Mexico school back-to-school tax-free weekend. So take advantage of that the weekend of July 31st. Boy, I've been way off on my dates just all day today. But back-to-school season is almost upon us. Kids, time to get out of your summertime routines. One of the hardest things for us, for my kids' mom and myself, over the last couple of weeks is trying to readjust specifically my son's sleep schedule. He's gotten himself to the point where he basically stays up all night, even in like a silent room. We had him laying in a silent, dark room, and he just lay there just hanging out until about like 9 in the morning. Then he starts getting tired, and then he'll crash until like 2 or 3. So basically, he's completely flipped his circadian rhythm, and now we got to reflip it, and we've only got like a week and a half to do so. So time is of the essence. But I got a pretty serious call from Kid's mom yesterday. She's like, "We need to talk," and that's never a good way to start a conversation. By the way, whether you're in an active relationship or in a parent situation, we need to talk is never the right way to start a conversation. All right, because guaranteed, the first thing that I or any guy in that situation is going to think is, what did I do wrong this time? But it's trying to fix my son's circadian rhythm. That's definitely going to be a challenge. Hopefully you're not dealing with any nocturnal children. I didn't want to say nocturnal issues because that sounds like urinary issues. But I'm talking about like kids who are staying up all doggone night, because that's what we be dealing with in the Smalls house. But back to school season rearing its ugly head. Just get ready for it. Mom, dad, kids, it's coming for all of us. Hey, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the program, because we have a busy hour if all goes to task. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we'll get you up to date with the weather. And after that, we have from the Travis County Extension Office, Ms. Tamara. We'll be chatting with her about all the stuff that Travis County 4-H has got going on. As we get into the summertime season, obviously the fair is underway, I believe. So we'll talk a little bit about that. A little bit about what's up for show and for sale, and what's been going on at the new extension office, that beautiful brand new office that they have. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Then we have scheduled to join us Miss Tracy Stratton from she's the new CEO of Loveless Regional Hospital. We'll be chatting with her about kind of her history in New Mexico medicine, and kind of things that she was up to before that, and what she sees as the vision moving forward for Loveless Regional Hospital. We'll get into that coming up here in just a few minutes. Plus your hourly features and whatever else comes our way on this Tuesday. Real quick, I did want to mention that we live in a sucky world. We really do. And when you need a good vacuum, you need a place that really sucks. And let me tell you what, Vacuums Plus, yeah, they really suck. Over there on the corner of South Main and Poe in Roswell, Vacuums Plus has all the new top-of-the-line vacuum cleaners, and they really suck. They got vacuum cleaners for as low as $15, and you know what? Those suck too. They carry bags and belts and just about anything your vacuum could possibly need, and they even service vacuum cleaners. So if you're looking for a place that really, really sucks, it's Vacuums Plus at the corner of Poe and South Main right here in Roswell and right across from Andrew's Donuts. Just remember, Vacuums Plus. Boy, do they suck. 12 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Let's get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like that monsoon moisture will stay off to our west, so we'll be getting sunshine today and pretty hot, upper 90s on the afternoon high. Wind should stay pretty light. Overnight will be clear, lows in the low 70s. We're going up to 100 or a little bit over for the afternoon high on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine, low 100s and sunny again on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me get this refreshed over here. Mike always has it on such small font. Currently 75 degrees. Humidity is at 66%. Winds are variable at around 3 miles an hour. The barometer 30.08 inches with a dew point of 63 degrees. Looking for mostly sunny skies and triple digits pretty much every day except for today. Only 98 for the high. But we'll probably crack triple digits before it's all said and done. No wind to speak of. Winds calm south out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tonight, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds, mostly clear, 72 for the overnight low. Then for your Wednesday, 101 degrees. It's going to be another scorcher out there, but that is only the beginning. As we head into your Wednesday night, mostly clear, 72 for the overnight low. Sunny and 104 for the high on Thursday, 105 for the high on Friday. Back down to 104, and then the pair 4s for your 104s for your Sunday and Monday. But then we do have a slight chance for some rain on Saturday night, about a 20% chance of that wet stuff. But that's going to be happening right around midnight. Still ain't going to cool things off because we're still looking around 104 degrees pretty much for the foreseeable future. 13 minutes after 8 o'clock. Going to pause, pay a couple of these bills, and after these, we'll be sitting down chatting with the Travis County Extension Office on another morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
The sizzling summer savings event is on now at Roswell Nissan. Now through the end of the month, get massive savings across the lot on an amazing selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. And that's not all. Get 0% for up to 60 months on select 2026 Nissan Rogue, Frontier, Murano, and Pathfinder. Make this summer road trip season a little hotter with the help of the hottest lot in southeastern New Mexico. But these sizzling savings won't last. Get to the sizzling summer savings event on now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West 2nd.
Beat the summer heat and come see us today at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop. Find all your summer fabrics, plus top-notch sewing machines. The Cow is your certified dealer and repair station for handy quilter long arm, brother, and baby lock sewing and embroidery. It's time to create. Join our beginning embroidery and quilting classes. Log on to RoswellQuilting2.com and follow Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop on Facebook for updates and creation ideas. Want to know how? Come to the Cow.
Hi, this is Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. If you're missing teeth or struggling with dentures, I want you to know there's a better way. It's called 3-on-6 Dental Implant Solutions. It's the most natural smile replacement ever. With 3-on-6, you don't just smile again, you eat again. Apples, steaks, whatever you love, you can eat it with confidence. And here's the kicker. Carabelli Dental is the only office in New Mexico and West Texas offering this advanced dental treatment. My team and I are experts in implants and in sedation. So while you relax, we will transform your smile. Call Carabelli Dental today and take back your smile and your bite.
Call 575-622-4455. It's time to kick off the 2026 Travis County 4-H and FFA stock shows brought to you by Tia Sophia's in Roswell. Join KSVP TV for live coverage from the Hobson Arena at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. From goat shows to heifer and steer competitions and the exciting junior livestock sale. Catch all the action live. Inviting all y'all from Carlsbad, Roswell, and Artesia to eat at Tia Sophia's restaurant, the place for your northern New Mexican favorites, turning New Mexico red and green at 4th and Richardson in Roswell.
You thought it was loving to do this.
Want to come back to my place?
Which resulted in this. What is loving is paying your child support. To support them. Do the loving thing and pay your child support today.
Payment processed. Payment received.
Contact the Child Support Services Division and meet your monthly obligation for your children. Visit yes.nm.gov or call 1-800-283-4465. Brought to you by the HCA, the NMBA, and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Extension Office, Ms. Tamara Schubert. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. We're good. How are you?
Doing good. It is, as we talked about a little bit off the air, all the rest of us, it's just another week. But for you guys, these are the D-days. These are the decision days right now, because we're smack dab in the middle of the Chaves County 4-H and FFA fair that's going on at the fairgrounds all week long. And you guys got a whole host of kids out there showing and selling.
So fair actually kicks off on Friday with indoor exhibits coming in, and then horse show on Saturday.
Gotcha.
So next week is our super busy week.
But this is all the prep week. This is all the staging, kind of getting things where they need to be.
This is the time that they're fitting and getting ready to move into fair for the next week.
So that's an exciting time. Now, is everybody ready? I mean, as far as like kids that are showing animals, we got all the. Are they making weight? Are they groomed up and everything?
And this is the week that will tell, right? So we've got several that, they're headed to the scales to figure out what they need to feed for the next couple of days, getting everything, their hair, wool, everything else fitted just right.
And it's always interesting to kind of walk the perimeter of the fair to see these kids getting prepped and ready out there. I mean, I've never seen sheep shorn so quickly in my entire life than just standing there for about 20 minutes out there at the lamb and sheep side of things. So obviously there's a lot of planning and preparation that goes into this, and you can also follow along all week long. We'll have all the fair shows and the sale at the end of the week at ksvptv.com. You can click in there and follow along with the shows and the sale as well. But you guys have a lot of irons in the fire. It's not just the fair. It's all sorts of different things.
Yeah, so we run 4 different departments through our office. So during the summer, definitely when kids are out of school, 4-H is our very busy one. Mm-hmm. But our master gardeners are still working. They have office hours every Thursday. So if the community is looking to just get some basic gardening horticulture questions answered, it's a great opportunity to call and speak with one of them directly.
The horticulture hotline. I like it.
Yep. The FCS side of things, the extension clubs are hosting a framing and matting workshop. So if you're curious about framing, matting, things like that, they're having a workshop on August the 6th at 5:30.
Okay.
We do ask that you call and give us a heads up that you're coming so we can plan all the goodies ahead of time.
Gotcha.
Little Books, Little Cooks is coming back next month too. So this is an opportunity for those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds to get into the kitchen to learn a little bit of ag literacy and farm-to-table cooking. They have some craft projects, cooking, and some literacy activities. So that's coming back in August. The first one's going to be on the 29th.
Okay.
Again, give us a call. Let us know that you're coming in so we can plan all the goodies.
I instantly thought of my son. I'm like, he's been very culinarily curious lately. So I think this is kind of right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to introduce them to not just agriculture, but some off-the-wall kind of foods and get them interested in trying some different things in addition to just learning the basics of how we operate in the kitchen.
Very cool, very cool. So lots and lots of stuff happening. And even tonight, you guys have a pool party.
We do. So we try to plan some different things for our kiddos that are enrolled in our traditional 4-H program. And so let's face it, it's hot. Mm-hmm. County Fairs is a hot week out at the fairgrounds all week. And so it's a great opportunity to hit the pool.
And it's the other thing about the county fair, too, that a lot of people don't really think about or talk about. It's not the one that all the food trucks show up to. And so guys get pretty hungry out there. You get hot. You can't just go and grab yourself a lemonade. It's not just at the ready. So that's another thing the kids have to get ready for and prepped for is dealing with the heat and dealing with being out there and in the elements. But then again, when you're raising a show animal, obviously you're spending a lot of time out there, and so you probably become pretty accustomed to it. All while wearing a wool cowboy hat and the thickest pearl snap shirt you could find. I mean, it's torture out there for the cowboys.
Yeah,
Cowboys
so
and
our
cowgirls.
county fair is a little different than a lot of county fairs simply because we host Eastern Fair here too. So we don't have a lot of the vendors, the trucks, the restaurants, the rides that a lot of the other county fairs do. But most of our kids have had their livestock since about April, March. If they've got steers, they've had them probably from December, November timeframe. So they've been working with these livestock for quite a little while now.
Nice.
And usually out in the heat, right? But it takes a lot of hard work. The kids are pretty much out there all week long. Depending on what days they show, they still have to care for those animals while they're out there the whole time.
Do you have a guesstimate on how many kids are showing this year?
You know, I haven't ran the numbers on what entries look like this year. Our fair board kind of takes care of that. But we're looking for a good show.
There you go. It's always an exciting time, especially getting towards the end of the week. Kids start kind of like plotting and planning, the show, the auction, and how things are going to go, and then where they're going to take that and invest that money into. So that's always a really cool thing as well. Now, if folks want to get involved, want to get their kids involved with 4-H, FFA, with one of the member organizations with the Extension Office, how do they do that?
So open enrollment for 4-H runs from October to March, but this is a great opportunity to come out and see what 4-H and FFA is all about. So on the 4-H side, we have about 250 projects that kids can participate in, and only about 25% of those are livestock. So during the fair, not only are our kids out there doing livestock out in the heat and stuff, but they have a whole indoor component that brings in about 700 entries that our kids work on throughout the year. And so that's anything from rocketry to quilting to leathercraft to welding. So things that are done on the inside too.
Sure.
So it's a great opportunity to come out and see what all 4-H has to offer.
Absolutely.
And get involved. This is a great time to get involved with our individual clubs as well on the 4-H side so that they know come October really what they're wanting to do.
Absolutely. And like you said, this is it's kind of a peek into it, a window into, because when you hear 4-H, you instantly think livestock, you instantly think, like gardening, stuff like that. But there's so much more to it. There's the science side of things. You guys really do dive into the STEM of it all, which I really I appreciate. It's tapping into more than just this is farming, this is math. And there's a lot of STEM that goes into farming, a lot of STEM that goes into to raising livestock. You got to know numbers, you have to know ratios, you have to, when you're balancing out like certain vitamin supplements, you have to know this much, 20% of this versus 30% of that, and there's a real science behind it.
And what do they need to increase to get this muscle mass, or what do they need to decrease to exhibit or enhance as part of their animal? There is.
What illegal Chinese peptides do I need to order up? No, I'm totally kidding. But obviously there's a lot of science that goes into it, and that's something that 4-H really taps into, and like something I didn't even expect when you said rocketry. That's such a cool, like, that's the kind of stuff that my son is into. The rocketry side of things, the science side of things. That's the kind of stuff that piques his interest. And when you can find that thing, that spark that really piques a kid's interest, and you can really hone in on it, you can really see some amazing things happen.
Yeah. So some of those off projects, like you said, most of people think about livestock when they think about 4-H, but there really is a whole nother arena to meet what the kids wherever they are.
Which is awesome. So open enrollment, you said, begins in October. So this is just sort of a chance for the current 4-H kids to shine and show and sell. But if folks want more information about 4-H, FFA, the Extension Office itself, how do they go about getting that?
So they can definitely call the office. Our number is 575-343-9075. And you can connect with any of our agents there in the office to help answer questions on anything 4-H related.
Very good.
FFA, it really depends on what school district they're in as to where they're going to go. So that's the little difference between 4-H and FFA is all of our FFA stuff is run through our schools. So whether it be middle school or high school, depending on what school district you're in. And then ours are completely out of school.
There you go. And now I know you guys have been in there since the beginning of the year, but How you liking them new digs?
Yeah, they're working great.
Yeah.
We did officially finally get completely moved over about March.
Okay.
And so it's working great. In fact, we've been able to host multiple camps this summer, which we're in the middle of our STEM camp right now.
Oh, cool.
So we have a couple more days of that one, but it's been great to welcome the community to a spacious area that allows them to come in.
Super spacious, lots of room for meetings and for different scenarios and situations. Plus, I bet pretty good air conditioning right about now too.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Just the best. Well, did we cover everything? Is there anything else you want to tap on?
No, if the community is wanting to come out and support the kids, we do encourage them all to come to the cell that takes place on Friday of next week. It starts at 7.
I always get confused because Eddy County's runs Saturday, ours runs Friday, so it's always up in the air. But ours is Friday evening, I believe, at 7 p.m. Yeah.
Yep. It's a great opportunity to come support the kids and see what they've worked so hard for. Most of those finances that come in for the kiddos, they turn around and use for projects the next year, or that's also what sends them off to college.
Right.
So you may be thinking, well, I can't afford a steer, I can't afford a lamb. So we do have some other opportunities for them to help add on to those kiddos or support the kids in their projects.
It's always interesting too. I'm only kind of just learning about this since I've kind of dabbled into the idea that the show is. A lot of times the people who are going out there to bid, they'll get together and they'll pool money for one or two specific kids, and you'll see animals go for 20, 30 times what their normal value would be to help out a kid in a certain situation.
Absolutely.
That's such a cool story,
So for many of our kids, this is, finances aren't necessarily paid for mom and dad to do their projects. And so for a lot of our kids, this is what pays for next year's projects.
Absolutely. So come on out to the auction, be a part of it, and maybe, make a couple bids. You never know. You never know when a meat goat might be your own. But come on out. And again, if you want more information, reach out to Ms. Tamara at 575-343-9075, or you can find Travis County 4-H and FFA on Facebook as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you next time. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have it on the schedule next time.
Uh-oh.
I doubt it, but maybe. We'll see what happens. 28 minutes after 8 o'clock, let us get you up to date with some local news.
SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. On orders from President Trump, additional 50% tariffs going to be imposed on some Canadian imports. The president accusing Canada of unfairly discriminating against American products. Iran remains defiant, attacking a tanker in the Strait of Hormuz, forcing its crew to abandon the ship. The U.S. conducted yet another round of airstrikes on Iranian targets overnight, 10th consecutive night of such attacks. Lebanon's president will be meeting with President Trump later today, that to take place at the White House. Former U.S. Army soldier is under arrest in New York City, accused of starting a fire and firing a pellet gun outside a lower Manhattan federal building. And Senator Darlene Graham announces that she is running for the full term in her late brother Lindsey Graham's U.S. Senate seat. Stocks opening higher this morning on Wall Street. More details, srnnews.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 29 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, the new CEO of Loveless Regional Hospital, Ms. Tracy Stratton. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful, Mike. How are you?
Good. I'm actually the fill-in. I'm not Mr. Important.
Oh.
Mixmaster Mike Winters, he's actually off in Lubbock. He's getting a little Gary Laser Eyes treatment going on.
Well, there you go.
So I'm the second banana, but you know what? That's all right. We'll take good care of you. So welcome to Roswell.
Thank you.
How long have you been here as the new CEO so far?
A little over a month.
Okay.
Started the first part of June.
Okay. So how are things going with the transition?
It's going really well. We have a beautiful facility over there.
Mm-hmm.
We've got great staff, great doctors. Everybody is dialed in and really interested in taking great care of patients. So it's been a great team to work with, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And I love Loveless Regional Hospital. I know that in Roswell you have a choice, but I love Loveless Regional Hospital from a personal perspective just because I've always gotten such such good care for, specifically in the emergency area. So often when you go to the emergency room of a hospital, you're kind of the forgotten ones. Loveless does such a great job of getting you in, getting you triaged, getting you the care that you need, and getting you out the door, because nobody wants to spend an afternoon at the ER.
Correct.
But Loveless also is where both of my children were born. So
very good.
Holds a special place in my heart as well. So now you've been here in Roswell for about a month. Before that, you were in the southwestern New Mexico area in Los Alamos?
Northwest.
Northwest, excuse me.
Yeah.
I was thinking Las Cruces, and then it was Los Alamos. So that was my bad.
So up there at 7,300 feet. That is a facility that's very near and dear to my heart, because that's what brought me to New Mexico back in 2012. I'm a nurse by background, and I started there as the chief nursing officer. And so I feel like I was able to kind of come full circle. Started there at chief nurse, stepped away to do another job for the healthcare company I was working for, and then got to come back as CEO and was there for 4 years.
Very cool.
It's been great.
You always get brought back home. They call it the land of entrapment for a reason.
That's right.
Now, quite a change of pace though, going from northwestern New Mexico and the green and the trees and the cooler days to down here in the deep dark south, where it's you hear the vibra-slap, that's the sound of southeastern New Mexico.
Yeah.
How's the transition been?
It's been just fine. As I look around, it kind of reminds me a little bit of my home state, which is Wyoming. That's where I was born and raised. So a lot of flat, open spaces, and you can see forever.
A lot of big sky down here.
Yes.
That's absolutely true. We have, I think they said 312 days of sunshine a year on average. So definitely a lot of sunshine, a lot of blue skies around here. Now you've got kind of an interesting story too, because before your time there, you actually spent some time in the Washington area.
Correct.
And now tell us a little bit about what that experience was like, because it's only a few years ago, but it's a century ago, it feels like, with the pandemic era and everybody. I mean, I remember we would order or we'd go get groceries from like Walmart, and we'd leave them on the front lawn because you can UV the COVID out. So we'd leave like our box of Cheerios on the front lawn to let the sun get rid of the COVID. But it's just such a weird time to be alive. And you were up there making moves.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So during COVID, that was a particular hospital that was needing some extra leadership and support. So they asked me to go out and help that team kind of begin to learn and understand how to manage through COVID. So worked with the state of Washington quite a bit. They did somewhat similar that we did here in New Mexico, kind of hub and spoke model during the COVID era, but helped open up a COVID wing and kind of just supported the team through all of that, because that was a really scary time. None of us knew what the outcome was going to be. We didn't quite understand how to treat patients, and every day it was something different, and every day we were learning.
And that's something that a lot of people, because when people talk about some of the outbreaks that have been happening over the last couple of years, what a lot of people don't understand is some of these are they're serious, but they're known diseases, they're known disorders. Corona was completely new. It was something that doctors and medical professionals had never seen before. So not knowing what it was, how could you possibly know how to treat it or prevent it?
Right.
So I can only imagine what, from a medical professional perspective, it was like going through that time.
Yeah. And for me, not only being a hospital administrator, but also being a nurse myself, that was a really unique time, because I could, do what I needed to do from an administrative side, but I understood the clinical side as well. So I think those combinations make me a very effective leader in being able to help teams.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about Loveless Regional Hospital. Now, you've been here for about a month, kind of getting our feet set and getting to know the staff around you. What are your what's your plan moving forward? What ideas do you have for Loveless?
Yeah. So obviously in healthcare today, no matter who you talk to, it's all about growth. Payers are paying less.
Right.
Costs are going up, which isn't a great combination for healthcare in general. And this is really healthcare across the nation. This is not unique to New Mexico, to Roswell. There's a lot of headwinds and challenges. So the way you overcome that is by growing. So you've got to figure out new service lines maybe to bring in. How do you recruit new doctors to be able to provide easy access to care? And that's really what we want to do, is how do we provide more access to care in rural New Mexico?
And that's a big key right there, is they touch on is the fact that rural hospitals are being affected more than most other facilities around this time, just because finding access to funding it's a lot harder. And we're getting, I saw the term the other day, a medical desert.
Yeah.
Southeastern New Mexico has really become one of those because medical care is so few and far between. And if we want, anytime you want, quality care, you hear, well, we got to take them to Lubbock. We got to take them to El Paso. We got to take them. We should have that quality, care right here at home. And I think that's something that local hospitals, rural hospitals should strive for, but it's so hard when you're facing the hurdles and the challenges that local hospitals face.
That is correct. And I've always been kind of in rural healthcare. And so I love rural healthcare hospitals. It's a family, it's a community. And I always tell my staff, it's family taking care of family, right? These are the people that you see in the grocery store. These are the people that you see walking downtown Main Street. And we have an obligation to care for our community and do it the best way we can. So we've got to think sometimes outside of the box. And it's becoming more and more difficult. I think medical malpractice here in New Mexico has certainly added yet another layer of complexity when it comes to how can we recruit and how can we expand service lines.
Right. Malpractice and malpractice insurance for physicians is harder and harder to come by.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who's in the dentistry realm, and he's a big proponent of the fact that Southeastern New Mexico is becoming this medical desert because malpractice situations are so prevalent, and there's not the support for the physicians and for the medical professionals down and to match up with it. So it's made it almost a losing game. It's that idea of brain drain. We educate them here, NMSU, UNM, and then they go off to other places and make them money. So we need to find a way to make the make the appeal for Southeastern New Mexico so irresistible that they can't help it. Just we got to go work for Loveless.
Right. And part of that is getting the community more involved, right, in interviewing providers, when we bring providers on site. We want the providers to feel that community when they come here to Roswell and not feel like that they're out in a desert or in an isolated part of the state, but really have the community embrace them. And I've had great success in some of my smaller communities getting community leaders involved in those interviews. So would like to certainly do that going forward, but I am excited to share that we just had a new orthopedic surgeon start with us.
Awesome.
In June, and we have a new general surgeon who will be joining us at the end of July. So some new things coming up.
Absolutely. You always look forward to that. It's good to see some fresh faces, some new faces, and people who who can ingratiate themselves into, like you mentioned, this small community, because when you're working in such, with such a small number of people, and Roswell's a bigger small town. We do have, upwards of 50,000 people, but it's still small enough that the ones who are, the more well-known people, their stories get around a little bit, but also they're the ones that we reach out and we help. And you see that in situations like, and you weren't here for this, but a couple of years ago, we had a pretty devastating flood.
That's right.
That wiped out a lot of Roswell.
Yeah.
And you really saw in that time, neighbors reaching out and helping neighbors, and organizations, churches, local communities coming together for one family or for one specific person to just lift that person up. And that's the kind of stuff you don't really see in cities or in bigger communities. It's a lot more faceless. Down here, you got a story. And to be a part of that community is really something. So it's great to welcome those new faces. So tell us a little bit about the new orthopedic surgeon that we just got in. Years of experience. I mean, are they?
Yeah. So he's got lots of years of experience. Dr. Singalamala is his name. Lots of years of experience. He was very excited to come here. He's really embracing, I think, being in Roswell, which is really great. He told me a story about ordering a Jeep because he wants to start Jeeping, you know, up in the mountains.
Yeah, this is a great spot to do it.
Yeah, so really loved to hear that. He's a very kind, very just a great doctor, fun to talk with, and just really has a compassion to take care of patients. So I'm really excited to see what his practice will do.
Absolutely, and you know, you touched on something there, making the appeal of getting physicians in southeastern New Mexico. Part of that is we do have a lot of room to run around. You know, we got, we're just a drive away from Sitting Bull Falls, Carlsbad Caverns. I mean, beautiful, beautiful parts of the state that you can really take in on a day trip. So, you know, if you're a physician out there and you're looking for a spot to, you know, on your downtime, on your off time to stretch your legs a little bit, southeastern New Mexico, we are it.
That's right.
Absolutely. So, well, very cool, very cool. And you mentioned a general surgeon coming in October.
End of July.
End of July. Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So here in just a couple weeks, his name is Dr. Reddy.
Okay.
And he'll be ready to take care of any of your general surgery needs.
I have a friend who I lost touch with him, but he was studying to be a surgeon. He was actually in medical school. He was trained to get into surgery, and in his off time, he would peel the shell off of an egg. He would sit there with an egg and tweezers, and he would peel the shell like bit by bit off this egg to where you just have this like under layer of like, I don't know, albumin or whatever you want to call it. But it's such a tedious process, and that's how he would train his fingers. And he also, I played him one time in operation and never again. That man, he had the fingers of a god.
Yeah.
But surgery, it really is one of those professions that, you know, the skill and the attention that it takes is it's something to behold. So
it really is.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and if you ever get the opportunity to watch a surgeon's skill in the operating room, just watching what they do with their hands and their minds, it's just absolutely amazing. The early part of my career, I used to work for neurosurgeons. And so when you're in somebody's brain, that's when you want steady hands.
Oh, absolutely.
Skill and meticulous work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scary thing. Having studied medicine for about 2 decades now, I'm an avid fan of the show Scrubs.
Oh, are you? Okay.
So I know, you know, like that the neurosurgery specifically, you know, if you're like a patient that wants to stay, you know, conscious during that surgery, you can have them talk all kinds of different foreign languages, you know, have them do different dances over here. And that's the fun of brain surgery, really getting in there and playing with the wires, seeing what happens. You know?
There you go.
really playing with somebody's brain. But, well, that's exciting. We're, you know, moving forward, and it sounds like blue skies ahead.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So if folks want to learn more about Loveless, want to learn more about yourself, your history, how do they learn more about the organization?
Yeah, so you can go to our website. We've got all of our contact information out there. I believe we've updated the website with my information. You can always reach out to Tara, who's my administrative assistant, and she'll be happy to connect you and help direct you in whatever it is that you need, and we're here for you.
There you go. And great things moving forward. And anytime you guys have anything new you want to talk about, a new program or a new situation, feel free, come on back, and we'll welcome you with open arms.
Wonderful, and I look forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Tracy Stratton from Loveless
Thank
Regional
you.
Hospital, the new CEO. And again, good luck. We look forward to seeing what happens with you here. What are you looking forward to most as far as southeastern New Mexico goes? Like, are you an outdoorsy person?
We are.
Okay.
Yeah. My husband and I also do a lot of jeeping.
Okay.
So
is that a term?
Jeeping.
Is that just a term that Jeepers use?
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's a real term.
Because Mike drives a Jeep. He's driven a Jeep for now. This is his second one. I've just never heard the term going Jeeping.
Yeah.
I do like it though.
Yeah. It is a term, and he's got the big 37-inch tires,
Nice.
and so we rock crawl.
There you go.
Yeah, try to see what mischief we can get into.
There you go.
So
Head up to the Cool Pines of Ruidoso. It might be a little taste of home for you.
that's right. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love that up there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again.
Okay.
And we'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you. 15 away from 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with your Uncle Otis update.
Now, time for another Otis Advisory. New York City's new experimental mayor, Zorro Mondami, is already learning the hard lessons of socialism, finding out you can't be both moisture-wicking and self-absorbed at the same time, or you'll just dry up. Yes, it's already happening to Mayor Zorro. His city is running out of money, and he needs other people's money fast. Where do I get more of this? Thought the young prince. And that's when marketing had to be called in to puncture the silence and find somebody else to blame. Same as when marketing was brought in to fix the botulism messaging thing. Goes like this.
Come on, Uncle Otis. Let's go get a shot of botulism toxin. It'll fix all our wrinkles.
But wait, the kids won't want some stinking botulism. No, but they'll damn sure pay big for a shot of something called Botox. Botox is a whole lot cuter and lots more fun. So don't worry, Mr. Mayor. Marketing will take care of your budget problem and find somebody else to pin it on. Just smile, practice walking fast to a meeting, and then hand out more of those gaily colored crack pipes. They do make great hand warmers when you're freezing out on the street in a blizzard. It's so Raven. But maybe you can still find some of those working men to go ahead and pick up the trash mountain stacked on the street. Careful though, there's somebody probably living up in there. Oh wait, experimental mayor told the sanitation guys they could work from home like everybody else. Oh stars. That's not gonna work. This is your Uncle Otis. I'll see you at the Peace March.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like that monsoon moisture will stay off to our west, so we'll be getting sunshine today and pretty hot, upper 90s on the afternoon high. Wind should stay pretty light. Overnight will be clear, lows in the low 70s. We're going up to 100 or a little bit over for the afternoon high on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine, low 100s, and sunny again on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 75 degrees round Roswell Way. Humidity is at about 66%. Winds are calm at the moment, around 3 miles an hour, with a barometer of about 30.08 inches. Looking for another scorcher around Roswell. We had our time. Our El Nino gave us some definitely needed monsoonal moisture. I saw a meme yesterday that really kind of, it hit close to home. It was like that moment you know you're old people. And it was just a bunch of people standing on a porch watching rain, just saying, boy, we needed this. We sure did need this. Man, did we need this. Yeah, I know, it's just something old people say. But hey, we really do need this, okay? We needed all that monsoonal moisture, and it was great to have it while we did. But hopefully you got your fill, because we're heading into the heat zone. 98 for the high today, mostly sunny skies, winds calm, 5 to 10 miles an hour, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds tonight. Mostly clear skies, and 72 for the overnight low. Then for Wednesday, sunny skies, is going to be hot, 101 degrees. Winds light and variable, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Back up to 104 for your high on Thursday, 105 for the high on Friday. And overnight, pretty much every night this week, we're looking about mid-70s. Mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Then for Saturday night, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Not a huge chance, but it should cool down a little bit, down to about 73 degrees for the overnight low. Back up to 104 for the high on Sunday, and another 104 degrees for your Monday. So yeah, that heat, it ain't going away just because you want it to, so get up and do something while it's still semi-cool out there, because otherwise you're just not going to want to do it. It's just how life works. 11 minutes away from 9 o'clock, let us get you up to date with your Red Apple Market Report.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Good morning, I'm John Terrett. Investors looking beyond geopolitics on Monday. At the end of the session, the Dow was down 0.6%, the S&P 500 0.2%, and the Nasdaq just barely in the red. Chip stocks trading higher all day long. The stocks finished up just under 1%. Oil prices fluctuated in response to the latest round of military strikes in the Iran war, and gas was back above $4 a barrel national average. The big corporate story of yesterday, Paramount Skydance down 2%. The takeover planned with Warner Discovery down 4%, hit the brakes for 14 days by a federal judge. This in response to 12 states who are trying to stop the takeover altogether over competition issues. The CEO of Bank of America, Brian Moynihan, said significant economic activity had been generated thanks to the FIFA World Cup. South Korea's Hyundai is recalling 47,000 Kona SUVs. New Jersey subgiant Jersey Mike's places its IPO at between $21 and $25 per share. Domino's Pizza was up 1% to 2%. They beat with the revenue, even though demand for their pies is getting softer. AMC, the movie people, up 25%. They posted a surprise profit and record revenue. And looking ahead to today, earnings come from 3M, GM, and the toy maker Hasbro. With business, I'm John Terrett.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
What if the future of finance wasn't built around averages, but around you? At Abacus Global Management, we're reshaping financial planning around the most personal data point, your lifespan. But it's more than just insight, it's control. As a technology-driven asset manager, we're empowering investors with an integrated system to take command of your time, your future, your financial destiny. This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com.
The summer heat in New Mexico can put extra stress on your heart. Artesia General Hospital and our cardiology experts remind families, protect your heart while traveling and spending time outdoors. Stay hydrated, avoid strenuous activity during the hottest hours, and never ignore symptoms like chest pain, shortness of breath, dizziness, or irregular heartbeat. Take medications as prescribed and keep them cool during travel. Dr. Luther Weathers, MD in Artesia, and Elizabeth Madison, ACNP in Carlsbad, specialize in comprehensive heart care, from high blood pressure and heart rhythm issues to preventive wellness. Don't wait until it's an emergency. Get checked and enjoy summer with peace of mind. For extra cardiology services close to home, trust Artesia General Hospital. Artesia General Hospital. Healthy summers start here with heart care you can count on.
Hey, Roswell, time is running out to cash in on some of the biggest savings of the season. The loan and lease termination sales event is happening right now at Roswell Ford. Drive away with a truckload of savings in a brand new Ford F-Series pickup with financing as low as 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to get you out of your trade, even if you owe up to $10,000 more than it's worth. Have less than perfect credit? Roswell Ford works with a network of aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Get on board at Roswell Ford during our loan and lease termination event and get huge savings on all new F-Series trucks, America's top-selling pickup in each of the past 49 years. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand finance on F-150 trucks. Excludes Raptor. Interest accrues from date of sale. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 7 minutes away from 9 o'clock on a Tuesday morning without Mike Winters. In case you missed any portion of the program, you can always go back and check it out in its entirety over at ksvptv.com. That's ksvptv.com. Just click on the Mornings with Mike Winters tab. Even though this ain't he, that's the face that you're going to see on the website. Click on Mornings with Mike Winters on that page, and you can check out the show in its entirety. Then after the morning show, Ms. Jocelyn will have everything up piecemeal and put up on the Facebook page and across socials, so you can check out those interviews for yourself. Real quickly, wanted to put this on your radar because, well, we're all humans, and doggone it, we all gotta eat. And if you are craving a true taste of Santa Fe right here in Roswell, I got great news for you. It's time to head to Tia Sophia's. That's right, you can enjoy homemade sopapillas, their famous red and green homemade sauces, and that perfect Christmas sauce blend. Now, I'm a Christmas guy. I wasn't before. I used to be strictly green. It's sort of a, New Mexico point of pride. But I did dabble and dip a toe into Christmas a while back, and I've sort of been in my Christmas phase. There's something about that that smokiness of the red mixed with that intense burn of the green. I really like it a lot. And they have some pretty doggone good sauces. Their red and green sauce, awesome. Their enchiladas, and trust me when I say this, you won't be hurting for extra green sauce on those enchiladas because they give you plenty. And they're now hosting dinner Thursday through Saturday. They're open 7 days a week for breakfast and lunch. You can bring out the whole family and experience authentic northern New Mexican flavors. I didn't know there was a difference between northern New Mexico cuisine and southern New Mexico cuisine. And then, apparently, New Mexican food in general is its own designation. There's like a weird three-way Venn diagram, and somewhere right in the middle, right where all three circles convex and intersect, is Tia Sophia's. It's the best of northern New Mexico, right here in southeastern New Mexico, and they encompass all of the New Mexican flavor. It's right there on the corner of 4th and Richardson, right here in Roswell. Next time you're heading in to pay your water, look for Tia Sophia's. Stop by and enjoy a little lunch, maybe some breakfast, or Thursday through Saturday, take the family out for a lovely dinner at Tia Sophia's. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Tia Sophia's right on the corner of 4th and Richardson, turning Roswell red and green and doing a pretty doggone good job while they do it. And real quickly, wanted to remind you once again, the Roswell Community Little Theater presents Curtains Rising. It's their annual event to kickstart the Roswell Community Little Theater season and give you a taste of what's in store for this year with the Roswell Community Little Theater. It's all going down this Saturday, July 25th, 6 p.m., and it's hosted by the Liberty at 312 North Virginia. Come on out and be a part of Pony Espresso. It's a laugh-out-loud melodrama by Rachel Davidson, directed by Deanna Santos. That's going to be happening there starting at 6 p.m. at the Liberty. In addition, they're going to have a steampunk costume contest as well as door prizes, live auctions, and silent auctions. So a good time to be had by all. Get there early to get the good seats and be a part of all of the festivities. He says, join us for a rollicking night on the frontier. If you say the word rollicking in the Old West, pretty sure that's going to get you shot. Anyways, they're also going to be featuring the steampunk melodrama Pony Espresso. Secure your ticket right now at thelibertyinc.com. That's thelibertyinc.com. And get excited because that is going to be, it's going to be one heck of a season for the Roswell Community Little Theater. They've got a lot of big stuff in store, and they want you to be a part of it. Hey, stay tuned. Coming up here next hour, we're going to get you up to date with your town or your national news. And then next hour, around 9:15 or so, we have scheduled to be joined with by Miss Amy McVeigh from the Roswell Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico. And joining her and us will be Adam Rowe. We'll be talking about the Heritage Dinner honoring the Rowe family and Pepper's Grill and Bar and the legacy of Pepper's Grill and Bar. So we'll be chatting about that. Plus, we'll probably also dip a toe in chatting about this big event that's coming up Saturday, August 15th. It's the 70th anniversary of the 1956 Lions-Hondo Little League World Series Championship. If you go out to the park right now, it's out on Sunset. They have on the side of the where the concession is, they had the Lions-Hondo logo. Since I believe 1956 is what it says, and it's Little League World Series champions 1956. It's right there to check it out. But that celebration is going to be happening Saturday, August 15th at 7:30 p.m. at the Lions-Hondo Little League Field at 2758 South Sunset. You're invited for the presentation, the proclamation, and the book signing by Dewey Johnson, the author of That'll Be the Day. It's going down Saturday, August 15th, 7:30 p.m. at the Lions-Hondo Little League Field. Come on out and be a part of it. But we'll be chatting with Miss Amy next hour from the Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico. Got your news coming up next. Keep it locked right here on A Morning Without Mike Winters on 106.5 KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Stay tuned.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. military has identified a soldier killed while disarming an Iranian drone in Iraq. 30-year-old Sergeant Michael Emmanuel Swinton of North Carolina will be awarded a Bronze Star, Purple Heart, and Combat Action Badge and will be promoted to Staff Sergeant. Posting on social media, his wife writes, "I will never recover from this." The couple has a young daughter. 2 Army soldiers were killed in Jordan on Friday by an Iranian attack, the first U.S. troop deaths from direct Iranian fire since the opening days of the war. U.S. trade dispute with Canada is heating up. President Trump announcing plans for 50% tariffs on some Canadian goods.
These are really sweeping tariffs imposed by the United States against certain items imported from Canada. Donald Trump says this is a retaliation for what he called unequal treatment of U.S. cars, dairy, and alcohol. But certain items that are exported from Canada will be exempt from this list, and they include energy, potash, critical minerals, and fish. Now, these new tariffs are going to be delayed, and I think this is significant, by 30 days. So it does allow for some negotiation.
The BBC's Peter Bowes. Tropical storm warning from the Florida-Alabama line to Louisiana. Tropical storm Bertha building strength in the Gulf of America.
Current forecast basically shows it approaching and then moving inland kind of right along the Louisiana coastline here in about 36 to 48 hours. So we're talking basically Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. And then the track takes it basically right along the Gulf Coast, but during this period it weakens to a tropical depression.
The National Hurricane Center's Philippe Papin. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow is up 250 points, NASDAQ ahead 286. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Here's something nobody tells you about owning a home. While you were at work, your house was working too. Property values went up. You paid down principal. Your house quietly earned you tens of thousands of dollars, maybe a lot more, and never asked for a thing in return. The average American homeowner has built 6 figures in equity over the last few years. 6 figures! And most have never collected a penny of it. Fellowship Home Loans helps you collect. For over 20 years, Mike and Brian have shown families how to put that equity to work. A HELOC, a cash-out refi. Money for the renovation, the debt consolidation you need, or that project you've been putting off. Everything is done in-house. One roof, one team, all with a servant-led mentality. People who treat you like family. Your home already paid you. Go cash the check. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G or call 800-510-MIKE. 800-510-6453. 800-510-MIKE. Fellowship Home Loans. Mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
An attacker has stabbed and wounded 2 people near Greece's top tourist attraction.
The assailant attacked a man and a woman, both Greek Americans, with a knife on a pedestrian street near an entrance to the Acropolis itself and near the entrance to the Acropolis Museum, which lies at the foot of the Acropolis Hill in Athens. Police say the woman suffered light injuries to the leg, while the man was more seriously hurt, with wounds to the arm. The attacker was detained at the scene, while the 2 victims were transported to the hospital by ambulance, authorities say. The identity of the attacker was not immediately clear, but police said he appeared to have been suffering from psychological problems. The attack did not lead to any closure to the sites, which continued operating as usual. I'm Charles Philadelphia.
At least 10 people have been killed, 17 missing after a disaster inside an under-construction tunnel linked to a hydroelectric project in northeast India. News and analysis, townhall.com. There could be a shakeup coming to the world of college athletics.
Southeastern Conference Commissioner Greg Sankey says the SEC having very serious talks about breaking away from the NCAA. He says school presidents are frustrated and want change. SEC dealing with issues like congressional legislation, new eligibility rules, and transparency around player payments. Despite those challenges, Sankey says he does believe there's value in participating in a national organization. Jason Walker reporting.
New estimates show road deaths are on the decline in the U.S. and abroad. A study published in Lancet Public Health reveals global road injuries and fatalities each fell more than 30% from 1990 to 2023. However, progress does vary country to country, with poorer nations seeing less of an improvement. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. Tres Inviernos of a morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the second day of the work week and the second day of the rest of your life. One day closer to the end of summer vacation. Yes, and of course the return for parents who have days off, who aren't doing the work-a-day thing. Maybe the shift workers out there who are pulling the 11 to 7 or whatever. And 7 is your cutoff for work. You get the kids to school. Once school starts, then the day drinking. It's exciting, right? You get to get your day drinking back. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully you'll get to enjoy that as well. But for all the rest of us, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the second day of your work week. And hopefully yours off to a semi-decent start. That's a good spot for that. But yeah, Mixmaster Mike Winters is off, and I believe he's already under the lightsaber that does his procedures. Mike getting his Gary Laser Eyes treatment. I believe this is one of the last ones that they're going to be doing. As I mentioned in the 7 o'clock hour, these last few visits have really been about dialing in the frequency of the lasers for specific tasks, like playing with the cat, all the way up to nuking microwave burritos or frozen burritos, which I think we finally got the frequency honed in for that last hour or last trip. This time, I think is basically just target practice. From the pictures that I saw, they've got a firing range set up, little ducks, metal ducks and stuff, and little targets that Mike's got to zoom in and pinpoint accuracy knock out before he's allowed to leave. It's to get the frequency right so that he doesn't. It doesn't go haywire, and maybe one night when he's playing with the cat, all of a sudden it goes into nuke a burrito mode, and next thing you know, Reba doesn't have a tail anymore. I'm just saying these are all hypotheticals we want to avoid. So a little honing in, a little target practice, it's definitely important. But once all that happens, Mike and his Gary Laser Eyes will be hopefully almost complete and back here in Roswell, ready to step up his game. I'm pretty sure that Mike is slowly but surely becoming the T-1000, which I'm really, really excited about because I really want to dip him in lava. But that being said, Mike and Gary Laser Eyes will be back tomorrow morning to regale us all about these stories and tell us what actually happened because, I've been making all that up. I hope you guys didn't actually think that that's what's really happening because that's the case. Yikes. I mean, I appreciate it, but yikes. No, Mike's not getting Gary Laser Eyes. He's actually undergoing a procedure that's necessary, so it's definitely something that we're glad he's taken care of and getting nipped in the bud. But we'll be happy to have Mixmaster Mike right back here in the captain's chair where he belongs, able to work his butt groove back into the chair because I've totally messed it up by now. Looking for another hot one around Roswell way. Hopefully you are prepared. Do the New Mexico thing, dress in layers, although it's already 80 degrees. So if your layers are anything but a series of short pants, you're doing it all wrong. You're not going to need a windbreaker or a coat. Although the other day, and I will never understand how, and this is going to make me sound old, but how kids today can just walk around in a hoodie. This kid, it was like 110 degrees outside, and this kid was fully in a hoodie. And I'm not talking about like a thin hoodie. I'm talking about like one you get at the gift shop at a college. Like one of those really high quality ones, you know? Yeah. And it's like 110 outside. I'm like, unless you're trying to sweat to make weight, I don't think you were, because you're a relatively skinny kid. And also it's summertime, so if you're wrestling, I don't think you're doing it right. But anyways, that being said, you're not going to need your hoodie today unless you're an angsty young kid, in which case you have to have your hood and your guideliner to hide all the pain and the sorrow. But that being said, don't worry about your jacket. 80 already, and it's only going up from here. So prepare and be aware of what's going on out there. If you're going to be out and about, please keep yourselves hydrated. Find some shade if you can. And also, just pro tip, avoid 2nd Street. Because right now, with the road construction that's been going on, with all the different equipment trucks and vehicles that have been moved into place and all the cones, people are getting a little aggressive on 2nd Street. I'm not talking about the people who are working, God bless them, and hopefully they're staying hydrated and keeping themselves cool. I'm talking about the drivers on 2nd Street. They're getting a little aggressive. I think getting down to one lane gets under people's skin. So if you can avoid 2nd Street, you probably should avoid 2nd Street. That being said, have yourself a good Tuesday. Hopefully yours off to a decent start. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the program. We will, of course, get you up to date with your local weather here in just a few minutes. And then coming up here in just a bit, we have Miss Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico. We'll be chatting with her and also chatting with Adam Rowe for the chatting up the Heritage Dinner that's coming up. Of course, the Heritage Dinner this year honoring Adam Rowe, the Rowe family, and the legacy and history of Pepper's Grill and Bar. And we'll get into that coming up here in just a little bit, chatting up all the good memories that Pepper's and the good flavors that Pepper's has left us with. But of course, all your other hourly features, your Sean Hannity update, local news, and whatever else comes our way on this Tuesday. But right now at 12 minutes after 9 o'clock, let us get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like that monsoon moisture will stay off to our west, so we'll be getting sunshine today and pretty hot, upper 90s on the afternoon high. Wind should stay pretty light. Overnight will be clear, lows in the low 70s. We're going up to 100 or a little bit over for the afternoon high on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine, low 100s, and sunny again on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 80 degrees around Roswell Way and partly cloudy, and actually looking outside, it does look like the sun is being impeded by the clouds, so that's kind of nice. Humidity is at 54%, winds out of the south at around 6 miles an hour. The barometer at 30.09 inches with the dew point of 62 degrees. Looking for mostly sunny skies, 98 for the high for your Tuesday. Winds light 5 to 10 miles an hour for tonight. Mostly clear, getting down to 72 for the overnight low. Winds out of the south 10 to 15 miles an hour. And then. More of the same thing Wednesday through pretty much next week. 101 for the high tomorrow, 104 for the high on Thursday, with low to mid 70s overnight pretty much every night this week. Mostly clear and 74 for your Thursday night, sunny and hot, 105 for the high on Friday. Partly cloudy and 75 for Friday night. Saturday, mostly sunny, 104. Then a 20% chance of some showers and thunderstorms, mostly before midnight. Partly cloudy, getting down to 74 for the overnight low on Saturday night. Sunny and hot, 104 for your Sunday, and for your Monday, as mentioned, sunny, hot, 104 degrees. 14 minutes after 9 o'clock. Going to pause for a couple of minutes, and after these, we'll be chatting with Miss Amy McVeigh-Tejas and Mr. Adam Rowe from the Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico after these on A Morning Without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
They're back. By popular demand, dollar days are back at Roswell Hyundai. That means $1 down is all it takes to drive away today with any vehicle on the lot. $1 down regardless of your credit. Good credit, bad credit, divorces, liens, repos. Roswell Hyundai wants to make it happen for you today. And with a simple approval process, Roswell Hyundai is making it easier than ever before to get into your dream ride. Right now, $1 is all it takes. Dollar days on now at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd. Spring is here, and Fulkerson has a few spring HVAC tips to help you get ready. Check for uneven temperatures from room to room. Replace your filter and pay attention to sounds that your unit makes. A professional spring checkup helps catch these issues early. And with the right fit membership from Fulkerson, you can rest assured knowing your unit is ready. With biannual maintenance and a reduced dispatch fee, even in the middle of the night. Call 575-319-9984 to find out more. Fulkerson Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Roswell and surrounding areas. Craving a true taste of Santa Fe right here in Roswell? Head to Tia Sophia's. Enjoy homemade sopapillas, our famous homemade red and green sauces, and that perfect Christmas sauce blend. Now hosting dinners Thursday through Saturday and open 7 days a week for breakfast and lunch. Bring the whole family. Come experience authentic northern New Mexican flavors. Tia Sophia's Roswell, turning Roswell red and green. Right on the corner of 4th and Richardson in Roswell. Get a built-in look with a Whirlpool flush mount dishwasher that installs flush with the surrounding cabinets at Bush Appliance in Roswell. A third rack provides space for silverware and hard-to-fit utensils. Plus, this dishwasher meets ADA standards for acceptable design. Shop Whirlpool dishwashers today at Bush Appliance in Roswell. Who you gonna call? Bush Appliance. Stop by 111 West Country Club Road in Roswell or call 575-622-6390.
The Eddy County Fair is here.
Get ready for the 81st Annual Eddy County Fair. Kick things off with the annual fair parade. Friday the lineup begins at 6 p.m. at the Bulldog Bowl, and the parade starts at 7 p.m. Then join us July 21st to the 25th for 5 days of family fun at the Eddy County Fair. Enjoy the daily carnival, livestock shows, exhibits, delicious fair food, and entertainment for all ages. Don't miss JD and the Badlands and the Josh Abbott Band Tuesday night. Shane and Shane for Faith and Family Night on Wednesday. La Original Banda El Limon and Los Marineros del Norte for Tejano Night on Thursday. And Friday's smoking hot bull riding, followed by Walker Hayes live in concert. Plus, don't miss the Jack Roush Anvil Toss, Fire and Ice Competition, Cornhole, and the 4-H and FFA Junior Livestock Auction on Saturday. For the full schedule and tickets, visit eddycountyfair.com. The 81st Annual Eddy County Fair, July 21st through the 25th. This ad paid for by Eddy County and Artesia Lodgers Tax.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion. Unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock on this morning without Mike Winters. And joining us in studio from the Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico, Miss Amy Gateas, and of course, local legend, Mr. Adam Rowe.
Oh, local legend.
How are you guys doing this morning?
Oh, that's awesome.
The name absolutely stands. We'll get into that here in just a few minutes.
Legendary that's an appropriate term.
Absolutely. But
I like it.
Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico. Obviously, we are smack dab in the middle of the summertime season. I learned earlier we're in the middle of the dog days of summer. It started July 5th and it goes through August 11th. So,
11th. Okay.
So we are in the dog days of summer, and obviously a busy time for the Historical Society as well.
Really busy.
Yeah.
Our tours are crazy. We've done so. Huge shout out to after school programs, Job Corps. You Challenge is creating these opportunities for us to partner with youth and celebrate history over the summer. So we continue to partner with these organizations. Shout out to You Challenge. They just have their new group out. Lift them up in prayer with our programs and everything. But it is, we're still decorated red, white, and blue, celebrating 250 and celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico Museum.
July 3rd.
July 3rd.
That's awesome.
We're decorated. We're celebrating. When you come into the museum, you're going to get a beautiful 50th anniversary sticker.
Okay.
We've got some fun things going on. You'll see those banners. So one thing that we agreed last night at our board meeting, there are a large amount of celebrations. To us, it's that celebratory year, right? From America to the cattle barons of the world to legendaries of the peppers and all these places.
Absolutely.
Museums, but Route 60, so many. So we'll continue to keep our banners up celebrating our museum. But to us, a celebration doesn't happen one and done.
Right.
No different than me sitting next to Adam.
Mm-hmm.
These things need to be celebrated every day. We're the Historical Society, so we don't just say, oh, we had one grand celebration and we're done. No, when you wake up every morning, we need to celebrate all of our wonderful local treasures.
Absolutely.
So,
it's crazy. I didn't even think about the anniversary of Route 66. This is a year of a lot of anniversaries.
It is.
That is crazy. So
New Mexico Military Institute, so many organizations. Youth Challenge Academy, 50. There are 51, 25 years. We're celebrating a lot of treasures.
Oh, and by the way, real quick, kind of an aside. Super happy when I saw that Roswell Job Corps is hiring again.
Oh, that's good.
That's great news.
Hey, amazing.
As a place that was kind of on the brink there for a minute, it's great to see they're back and growing. So.
That's awesome.
Now let's talk about the Heritage Dinner. It's coming up quick. What's the date on that? I was trying to find
September 29th.
Gotcha.
That is a Tuesday. If you go to our website, you're not going to find that information because details matter to us, and we need to fine line every single detail. And I will tell you, there's some amazing details to follow.
People don't understand. There's a lot that goes into making this event a success, especially since COVID and since the pandemic. We've kind of instituted the drive-through Heritage Dinner, the drive up mindset, and it works great. It's very efficient, but there's so many moving parts that go into it. From
certainly
from the perspective of going to the actual historical society itself and all the aspects there, to going and picking up dinner. There's a lot that goes into it. But this year we are taking an opportunity to celebrate the one who's responsible for so many heritage dinners of years gone by. And of course, I'm talking about Adam Rowe and the legacy that is Pepper's Grill and Bar. So tell us a little bit about your involvement with Pepper's, obviously one of the founding fathers of Pepper's. So tell me a little bit about the history of Pepper's and how you guys came about and called Roswell home.
Well, we were operating the clubhouse, which was a upscale, more dinner house type of restaurant. And my dad thought Roswell had a real need for a casual dining themed concept. Back in those days, Roswell didn't have, anything like that. None of the chains were here yet. And it was just a passion for him to kind of get one of those going. So, he was always on me to come home. I was living in California and do something like that. So we did.
Absolutely. Now, Pepper's, obviously the iconic location there at the corner of 7th and Main? 6th and Main. It's been there for decades. Was that the original home of Pepper's?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you guys have been there from the get-go. Wow. That is
35 and a half years we were there.
That is amazing. That is an amazing legacy that you left behind. And the other thing is, when you think about Pepper's, when you think about the history of the restaurant itself, whether it's heading out there for sports night, I'm personal good friends with Tony Clayton, who spent so many hours behind the bar there at Pepper's and always had such glowing things to say. But from the food to the atmosphere to even, and this is something that I always loved about Pepper's, and you never saw anywhere else, and that's Adam would just be out walking around the restaurant and sitting down and talking with people and having genuine conversations, getting to know his neighbors, the friends, community, and that's something you don't see. It's kind of a relic of a bygone era,
I think so.
It is awesome. So
special, very special.
So of course, when you think Pepper's, you think the iconic menu, because you guys you've had such an impact on my waistline over the years. And
do not blame me for that.
Oh, I'm not blaming. I'm thanking you for that.
He takes pride in it, right? See, you're part of the legacy.
Absolutely. My sister once said when I was talking to her about vacation, she goes, "So you just go to places you've been before and eat your memories?" I'm like, "Yes, that's exactly what I do."
That's good.
That's good.
And I love doing it. Now, my mind, there's a lot of different things. The steak sandwich. A lot of people raved about. I had a friend who said, if you don't go there and get the steak sandwich every time, you're doing yourself a disservice. But my go-to was the steak à poivre.
Yeah,
It's one of those things that southeastern New Mexico doesn't have access to a lot of upscale tastes.
That's true.
And the first time I had that steak au poivre, I'm literally getting goosebumps right now thinking about it.
That is a compliment for sure.
It's amazing. It's not
That's
like
awesome.
it's not an original recipe. Obviously, steak au poivre has kind of existed in more upscale restaurants for a number of years, but to bring it to Roswell and to bring it to a family dining establishment, that's such a revolutionary idea. I love that.
Well, the story there, the history there, is it was actually one of our premier dishes at the clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
It was a much thicker steak,
Mhm.
For that environment.
Sure.
'Cause it would take so long to prepare. And when we decided to close the clubhouse, we took a few of those recipes, the iconic recipes, and we moved them to the peppers.
Mhm.
And since it's a peppercorn steak, it worked with our concept, enough.
Right.
And
I always thought it was funny. Years after I first tried my first steak au poivre, I'm a fan of the show Archer, the TV show Archer. And Archer, there's a scene where he's screaming at his butler, and he goes, "Peppercorns! We're out of peppercorns because of course it can't be on a poivre without peppercorns." And he's just raving about that. And I was like, okay, peppercorns. I got one aspect of it. So I got to ask, because I've been asked by a couple of people, and I'm curious myself. Is there any interest, any thought behind taking some of those iconic recipes, the au poivre, the chicken Oscar, and putting them in a cookbook?
There's discussion.
Okay.
It's something we've been talking about, hoping to do, planning to do. Unfortunately, we haven't actually got started yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we do need to jump on that. That's of course Robert's a key player in that.
Sure.
He's traveling right now, so we're waiting for him to get back.
Of course.
But yeah, that's in the plans.
Yeah,
We
awesome.
have the recipes. We just need to.
See, there's hope.
There's hope. Yeah.
Well, one of the things,
That's awesome.
one of the things that was funny is after after sadly Peppers closed their doors, for about a week, maybe a week and a half afterwards, they were still seeing cars pulling up there, and that's because your head chef was selling off the last of the stock of the au poivre sauce, of the insanely amazing Peppers Ranch.
That's true.
Just all of the different sauces that he had on stock, and I missed my chance. I talked to you had actually called in your chef, and I talked to him, and he said, come by Monday at like midday, knock on the door, let me know who, that we talked, and I'll get you set up. I never went back. I know, I felt it was like Thursday of that week, and I was kind of like, oh my God, the sauce! It was a sad moment for me. But
It was, the demand was so strong that you mentioned using up, like finishing off. No,
Mhm.
Robert was running to like cash and carry and sourcing ingredients so he could make more for everybody that was wanting to show up.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
That
it's pretty cool.
It's a testament to the legacy that is Peppers, to what you meant to the Roswell community, from the dishes to the to sports nights, to nights out on the patio, and I mean every single heritage dinner that you guys painstakingly catered.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and portionally speaking, they were not giving out small portions of food.
But that's right. Those generous, kind.
I love heritage dinner because it's always a dinner for two, and I
the drive-throughs. Yes.
through life situations I have become one, not two anymore. So your two is all for me, and I love that.
No,
that's fantastic. But so obviously it's up in the air this year with the heritage dinner. We don't want to make any announcements. We kind of want to leave it a mystery as far as where we're going to get food from, and it's up in the air.
We're finalizing a lot of details.
Right.
A couple of things that for listeners that want just a little bit, we are honored to call Adam and family our friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have had in-depth conversations about how the Heritage Center can be the ultimate reflection of this legacy. So one thing we can certainly mention is that for this event, it's on a Tuesday, September the 29th. The doors are going to open at 5:30.
Okay.
And for that first hour, we're going to have celebration of party on the patio.
Awesome.
And the gala has been amazing. We're honored to be at the new Gala Event Center. They have that, well, they've literally been doing their throwback, if you will, to party on the patio. So from 5:30 to 6:30, the doors are going to open. Little subtle hint, there's going to have to be chips and salsa involved. Don't guarantee what, but and then some other things. So if you're listening and invested in the legacy of Peppers with some large signage, we've been happy to speak to a couple. If you have Peppers memorabilia, one thing that we are very, very specific on, we want you to walk in and it's going to take you back. Right. So if you have that memorabilia and would be happy to share that with us, we would love to be part of that. So there's certainly going to be some type of margarita connection, because you can't go to Peppers and not think of having a margarita. So there's going to be chips and salsa involved. There's going to be great food. There's going to be great moments. But to us, the most important part is going down I have been at the Historical Society for 15 years, so I've had the honor and privilege of working with them personally. The words that we have not used that come to my mind is we have got to honor the legacy of the well-oiled engine. Yeah. I said for 15 years, I've been doing events since I was 16. If something happened to me on that day and that heritage dinner was happening that night, we knew without a shadow of a doubt the service and the food would be impeccable. Great. So that is, to me, the most important thing. I'll speak on behalf of our board. We're going to take a moment to celebrate them as a family, but honor the well-oiled engine. And it is, like you said, from the minute you walked in that door, because Sean, you were talking about that. From the minute you walked in that door, you didn't know, you knew without a shadow of doubt you were loved.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Oh,
probably
100%.
by multiple. Hello, hello, hello. That's the thing. They were peeking around the door. That's important. And then I was just thinking, we looked back at that bar and I could see people, but it's just important to us. And yes, there's going to be tears, I hope. Why? Because we mourn that they're not here anymore. Right. But we also want to celebrate every detail. And so we will be honored at some point, whether that cookbook comes next month, next year, 5 years. To me, the timing is not there. But I'll stop talking. But the most important thing we did with Peppers, going back to 2020, and people have said, they do drive-thrus, blah, blah, blah. When everything was shut down, who were we talking to? Yep. And what did we do? We impacted lives, we raised money, and we did not see the glass half empty. We, along with them, saw the glass half full. So that's what I'm eternally grateful for.
Cut to a couple years after the pandemic, when everybody was back out eating at restaurants, Peppers had a full restaurant of people, and still took the time to make all those extra meals for the heritage dinner.
Well, and it wasn't easy, and it was a form of art. Adam and Robert became artistry too.
It was for those who
Robert's
don't know.
A master at stuff like that. So.
Amazing.
There are certain dishes that really require a lot of time and attention to pull off. Chicken Oscar is definitely one of those. It's not something you can just throw 27 of them up there and have them be ready. It's each dish takes time, and you have to commit to that one. So the amount of love and care that went into those meals, you could really feel that, and the whole package, from the meal to the table, setting and all that. It's all just, it was such an outpouring of love. It's such a cool feeling.
We just love you guys.
One thing you did touch on though is that you mentioned from the moment you walk in, you felt loved. I'll tell you how you knew you really felt a part of the Peppers family is when you walked in and the wait staff got snippy with you. When they were like, this guy again. You're like, I'm home. They like me here. They're not being saccharine, sweet, nice to me. Oh, hello, sir. How are you? Like, oh, this guy again. That's how you know your family right there.
That was that deep love.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can feel that. And also, as soon as you walk in, it's everything on the walls, it's the cactuses, it's I love the details of the staff shirt. I always.
Oh yeah,
I always loved the shirt, but I always felt really like awkward trying to check it out because I'm not trying to like stare, at someone's chest for a long time. So I would be up at the front looking at all the different details of the shirt behind the glass. Never took the time to buy one though.
Oh, see,
I know.
Won't.
See, that's why in life, take advantage of the situations
That's true.
that present themselves. I paid $10 for a foam apple at the Wizard of Oz experience at the Sphere. And I still have that apple, and it's still sitting high on my shelf. And I still feel stupid about buying it, but doggone it, I still got that foam apple.
It's there.
But I digress. So the Heritage Dinner is coming up September 29th. Doors open at 5:30.
We'll do the party on the patio for about an hour. Then the event will start. When I say event, buffet will. It's going to be a buffet event.
Okay.
It's going to be a buffet. We love the buffet because we've served the buffet with them for many, many years at the Heritage Dinner. I know. Adam, I was thinking, who's going to watch down upon this event still? Mary Lou Glass is going to make sure that our sets properly. We better have those chairs set up like she liked, right?
Yes, yes.
All those moments. But we want to take a moment to have those moments, too. Oh, one thing, talking about food, Sean, y'all love food. Let's just give the teaser that the dessert will, we'll just say dessert and Deborah Lucas, and we'll leave it at that. So, because she has a heart for peppers.
I was going to say there's another infamous Peppers customer all these years, and boy, we did a lot of events together. I would do we would be the caterers, and Debbie would come in to set up that wedding cake or that dessert, and she was iconic in this town and still is.
That's so true. So the icon of the name of Deborah Lucas' involvement of this event, I'm happy to say. And that's what we're living. We want to get the community involved with the celebration because the Rowe family is a huge family, literally, figuratively. I mean, it's a huge family. So if you're listening and want to customize this event to honor their legacy, call the museum at 622-8333. We would be honored to partner with organizations about the impact Peppers had on our community and surrounding communities.
And for generations, too.
Sure.
I know so many people who, went to Peppers with their parents as kids, and then they got the opportunity to take their kids in. And getting to, from your perspective of getting to sit down and talk to these families and see these stories kind of play out, it's one of those things you really took for granted because Peppers was just there. It was just going to always be there until it wasn't, until it's not. And then, and still to this day, I hear people say, I have not found another restaurant home. My kid's mom, Carletta, she adores Peppers. It was her favorite place to go for a number of years. And she, distinctly remembers several times when you would come over and sit down with her and her boyfriend and Mike, our kids, and have conversations. And she was saying the other day, she's like, I feel like I don't have a home anymore. I don't have a place anymore. And that's one of those things that you be thankful for the stuff, the places and the people that you have now because you don't know when you don't.
That's exactly right. Just being gratitude comes to mind. Being appreciative, supporting local. We say we have gratitude, but how important it is to support local.
Right. and I know that we're not alone with those stories, those memories. So if you've got memories, that you want to share, reach out to the Historical Society. If it's just a story or if you've got a piece of memorabilia, every piece of that lends itself to the tapestry, to the quilt that is the Rowe family and that is Peppers. And just to be a part of that for even just one night, it's going to be such an awesome experience.
We do need to also credit and let everybody know we're not only when we're honoring Peppers, we're honoring the Rose. We're also honoring all of their legacy. It's those employees that you had for, oh my goodness. I wonder do you have like the individual that has been with you the longest, or like servers?
We've got a handful. We've got some really special, well, let's say family.
Sure.
And there's too many to mention right now, and I'd hate to leave anybody out. But we just gathered for one of our long-term employees' 40th birthday parties, and that was really neat.
Oh, nice.
And I definitely miss the crew and miss my people. And
but we're going to celebrate all your people.
So. Yeah.
So I am curious, as Mike would say, Jew is curious. What's been filling up your spare time now that you've kind of had a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of stretch your feet a little bit? Have you been getting out there exploring? Or are you an outdoorsy type? What's been filling up your schedule?
Traveled a little bit. Just handling some of our other family businesses, like working. I'm involved with other things, and my mom and dad, their legacy that they left behind, and just finding a way to stay busy.
There you go.
It's crazy how you stay busy.
Are you a golfer?
No, I wish I was.
No, actually, you know what? I appreciate you for that fact. It's like I don't have the patience or the wherewithal to get through. I've done like 2-hour radio events at a golf course and be like, can I just please go home now? I'm hot. I'm tired. I'm a little bit buzzed because they let me have a beer in hour 1. I don't know why people are drinking at 9 a.m., but
that's.
but I digress. So, well, cool. I'm glad that you've had a chance to at least breathe a little bit because
definitely
anybody who's been a part of Peppers or been made that their restaurant, they know you were there every single day. From start to finish, making sure every aspect was exactly checking on customers, running to the back to make sure they they didn't have had this and had what they need. You were the cog that made everything work essentially, and that showed. Anytime you'd go to Peppers, you'd almost sit there and you're waiting for your meal, and you'd kind of run the numbers in your head. I wonder if he's going to come to my table this time. And I keep going back to my kid's mom, but she remembers the first time you came over and sat down at the table, and it's one of those. Do you remember if you made it on Carson? Like if you were a comic that really made it, he invited you over to the desk. That's that moment when Adam comes and sits at your table. You're like, all right, I'm one of the Peppers people. I'm just realizing might be double booked. I'm just seeing another guest over here. I'm gonna have to reschedule him because we still have so much to talk about. In addition to the Heritage Dinner, obviously, get tickets and more info now. Reach out to the Historical Society.
Yes, 622-8333. You can email me at historydirector@outlook.com with any questions regarding this or any of it.
And, in addition, we've also got coming up very soon, just right around the corner, the 70th anniversary of the Lions Hondo Little League World Series Championship. Again, another milestone anniversary in 2026.
I've got to give a shout out to Lions Hondo. If you have not driven by recently, they just got historical sign back up. Thank you to Josh Torres and all of them over there working hard to celebrate these men and just speaking of a legacy. So if you need more information, you can log on to roswellnmhistory.org. The event celebration will happen on August the 15th. We'll be headed out there. Bring your lawn chairs at 7:30.
You guys are going to debut the documentary?
Yes, we're going to do some presentations, proclamation, have you challenge out there, then watch the documentary. Huge shout out to Strong Tower and Peter Reddick with the video. And then last but not least, we can't forget on Sunday, the 16th, Dewey Johnson will be offering his presentation on his book. That'll be the day.
Yes.
And so make sure, just make that a weekend event. We've got to celebrate these legacies. To say we have world champions still living here in Roswell. Amazing.
It's a fascinating story, too, if you get a chance to get into it. And that's why this movie, I'm so excited for this movie because, it's called Roswell Where. It's gotten a lot of accolades from different film festivals. The Tucumcari Film Festival, the Diamond Award at the New Mexico Film Festival, a finalist at Minefield, the River Valley Film Festival. And so
last but not least, it's going to be in Williamsport. So knowing it's a part of them.
Yes.
So it's going to come full circle. Literally, it started here. It's going to be at the World Series. Coming back. Come on, guys. This is a moment greater than us that we don't realize.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So folks want more information, reach out, history director at outlook.com or 575-622-8333 is the number to call for the Historical Society. Whether it's this event or whether you want to be a part of the Heritage Dinner, if you've got memories or memorabilia, please reach out. It's all going to be an amazing time.
And keep listening. We cannot not do this event without having Robert back in there. We're going to have the whole group here, right here, talking Peppers.
Absolutely. Sounds like your dance card's filling up pretty quick, Adam.
There you go.
Poor guy. He's going to get tired.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you. We appreciate
you guys next time.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. 16 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Let me get you up to date with some local news and figure out what's coming up next. Stay tuned.
So SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The U.S. military has identified a soldier killed while disarming an Iranian drone in Iraq. Sergeant Michael Emmanuel Swinton of North Carolina will be awarded a Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Combat Action Badge. He'll also be promoted to Staff Sergeant, leaves behind a wife and a young daughter. U.S. trade dispute with Canada is heating up. President Trump announcing plans for 50% tariffs on some Canadian goods. Tropical storm warning has been posted extending from the Florida-Alabama line to Louisiana. It comes as Tropical Storm Bertha continues to build strength out in the Gulf of America. It didn't take Senator Darlene Graham long to make up her mind. She says she will run for a full term in her late brother Lindsey Graham's U.S. Senate seat. On Wall Street, the Dow's up 336 points. More details, srnnews.com.
And good morning. 15 minutes away from 10 o'clock on this morning without Mike Winters. You know, I have a co-host that tends to not, I'm the co-host. I have a host who tends to not write things down on the schedule. So with that in mind, we are pulling double duty this hour once again as well. And for the short time that we have left, and we'll get them rescheduled to have more time coming up here in the future. But since we do have a few minutes, why not have a chat with Elliot from Lone Depot. How are you doing this morning, sir?
We are doing just fine. Good morning,
Elliot Rodriguez from Lone Depot, of course. My apologies. I did not. This happened last hour too. We were double booked last hour too. So I did not know. But we will get you back on the schedule and I will write it down this time. I'll do what he doesn't. So how are things? How's the market?
You know what? Doing great. Very busy. You know, that doesn't slow down lately for some crazy reason. It's continue going that way. I'm very grateful, to God on that part. You know, I love it. So doing a lot of things. A lot of things are happening.
Sure.
As everybody know, the market's up and down. So
right.
It's one of those things, So
it's so funny. We're in that weird period of time where I'm simultaneously hearing people like, I can't afford to feed my kids. I can't afford gas in my car. Hey, $100 family pack of fireworks that are going to be just smoke and ash in 2 days.
And that stuff sells.
And it's sold out. It's a weird juxtaposition. So it tells me people have money when it's something that they aspire to or something that they want.
It's very true.
Like
somehow it appears. Somehow it appears.
Money makes itself available. So,
a side note, though, the why I wanted to say thank you for the coffee, that it was excellent. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. So, pull back of the curtain. We work with a guy here named Doug who he lives in Costa Rica. He was recently back visiting Costa Rica, his wife and family, and he brought me back this bag of Costa Rican coffee. Now, I personally am not a huge coffee fan. And honestly, the ones I have are Keurig, so I didn't really have a drip coffee maker, but the verdict is in. It's good.
Yeah, she said she loved it, so it's pretty good. So she wanted me to tell you.
Very cool. Well, I'm glad to pass along some Java love.
The market. I mean, it's still happening. Okay, there's a lot of things going on. I mean, there's a lot of programs going on to help people.
Yes.
So the fact of the matter is, even if you're a first-time home buyer or you're not a first-time home buyer, there's still programs to help you if you're a little short on money as far as like having money for the down payment and so on. Okay, so don't be discouraged. Don't worry about what's happening in overseas. Don't worry about what is happening on the news. Everybody just need to look back and see where they fit, and we'll take care of you from there. And it's not slowing down. I mean, as you can see, homes are being built. Okay, there's a lot of stuff happening.
A lot of new construction here in the area. And the other thing is, something I was going to touch on is if you look back 5 years ago, people who, took that time, made that investment, made the sacrifice to invest in their home, whether it's their first home or another home. And then you look at today and how much equity has been put into those places, how much money has been added onto those homes. The value of a home from 2020 to 2026 is leaps and bounds.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Yeah. So if you think about getting into the market now, who knows where it's going to go from here? You could have double your value by 5 years from now.
Yeah, and that's a good possibility. I mean, there's so many programs. I mean, you still have MFA,
right?
The New Mexico housing that gives us for first-time home buyers, the money for the down payment and even money for some closing costs,
right?
For repeating and new buyers, I also have a program of our own, which is Access Zero. Okay, that is one that we have that, especially when you're a repeating buyer, you know, if the numbers work and you need a little assistance because, you know, obviously you already own a home or whatever,
right?
But you want to, you know, upgrade to a better house, a bigger house,
Sure.
etc. All different locations, so on. Everybody has different, you know, scenarios for that. We still can assist us just the same, you know. And the awesomeness on that is, it's no more just for the first-time home buyer. Obviously, we concentrate on those, but the fact of the matter is we can help everybody.
Right.
You know?
And when you're looking for assistance, I mean, even if you're in a place where, you know, you've got the means, you've got the ability, you still need, you know, the resources. You still need to know who to talk to, what phone numbers to call, what, you know, texts or emails to send. That's when you go talk to a pro. And that's where, you know, folks like Loan Depot.
I help a lot of people. I just posted last night, and I'm going to put it on the storyline in a few, you know, this morning. You know, an individual that went to different places. She started actually with me, you know, and I tell them, you need to do this, you need to do this, but they didn't move forward to do it. And then they jumped to somebody else, you know, and then jumped to somebody else. They even came back to my own guy, which is funny. And then that didn't work out. And then eventually they came back to me again.
Right.
Okay. So the funniest thing is I tell them, no, you need to do this, this, and that, just like I told you. This time we did it. And guess what? She owns a home already. And I love that because some other people say no, and guess what? We say yes. You need the right team on your side,
right?
And if you don't have that, okay, obviously you're not being looked as a person. You're being looked as a number only.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, I don't do that in my house. We do differently. Okay, everybody counts. I don't care how big or small the loan is.
Right.
We're here to take care of you.
You're part of. You're joining a team. You're making yourself part of a team, and that team is going to be more powerful at the time of decision, at the time of closing. That team's going to be more powerful for you than you yourself.
Exactly.
So having that backup is
and you if you do what I ask you, I have this saying, okay, to the customers. I like, look, you're the boss, which is true. We work for them, okay. You know, I think some of my competitors kind of tend to forget that part, but I don't, because every day the reason I have my doors open is because of all the clients that we have and all the families that we help. Okay, or the partners that we assist. Okay, right. In the end of the day, is to help all those people. I don't have any other agenda but to help every person that is, you know, inspired to buy a house, that have the dream and ownership, to help them deliver a home. I don't care what type of loan it is. I don't care how big or small. I don't care how complicated it is.
Right.
Okay, you need somebody in your corner to do those things. You know, and I've seen this over and over. The loans are a little smaller, so some of our competitors tend to not really give too much of a, you know, side to it.
Right.
I take everybody, you know.
I say this all the time that you know, in my line of work, that you'll have a business that'll want to do an ad campaign, and they'll have maybe $250, $300 to spend. That $250, $300 that they have to spend is more valuable to them than the $2,000 of an ad budget that some faceless company has, because that money is taking from a light bill, taking from part of an employee's salary. That's an investment to them. And that's something that Elliot knows about is the investment side of things. You know, yes, they're there to help, but they need to know that you've got skin in the game. They need to know that you are willing to make the commitment. When you're handed something for free, it's not it loses all value.
Oh, 100%.
But when you pay for it, you understand its intrinsic value because something has been sacrificed of you to get it. So that's a big part of it. Yes, Elliot's here to help. Elliot's got resources. Elliot's got a team. What you need to have is, number one, the means, but number two, the ability to be humble, ask questions, not think that you know everything, because folks like Elliot, they've been through this 1,000 times. That's where the assistance comes in. That's where the expertise comes in.
And let me tell you something. I say this line to my customers. I'm going to show you how easy it is to buy a house. Now, in reality, it's not easy, folks.
Right.
In my side.
Right.
For you, it's supposed to be easy. As long as you follow my lead, you do what I ask you. You give me what I need from you. Okay? Because believe it or not, I still have people say, why are you asking for this? Well, you want a loan? I need it.
Right.
But you give me what I need. You know, do what I ask you to do. As long as I'm not telling you to break the law and do something stupid, just give it to me. And I promise you, Okay, actually, I'll give you my word that the process will be actually smooth. I hear the stories and nightmares and stuff that people tell me all the time. It's like, well, I'm sorry, you were with the wrong people.
Right.
Okay, because in the end of the day, yes, things happen. Because I almost sound like I'm, a Harry Potter sometimes, and I make magic, but I really do not make magic. I'm like an attorney.
You know what works. You know what levers to pull, what
I can
cogs to move to make it work.
It's almost like the movie when he says, "I can only prove what I can prove." So it's not just saying what you feel or what you believe only. It's doing what you can prove and you can make happen. And guess what? Knowing the guidelines and the rules and having the experience, oh my goodness, it comes a long way.
And the experience is I think the most important part, because the way I see it in my head is, when somebody has a situation, they're like, my situation is 100% unique. Nobody's ever seen this before. But to you, that's a Jerry. That's a Susan. I've dealt with that exact situation before, so I know exactly who to call, what resources to make available to you to make this happen for you, so that you don't have to do it. You could, but I can do it better, faster, and more efficiently to make it easier for you.
I love it. Let me tell you something. Yesterday, I got a phone call from an underwriter. I thought they were calling me from one of my files. I have a hiccup or have a problem. Usually when underwriter calls you, you think something like that is coming up. So it's like, all right, what we got today? No, it was actually the other way around. They were actually calling, a particular individual was actually calling me, "Hey, Elliot, I got this thing going on, has nothing to do with any of your files. Question, can we do this? Do the state of New Mexico allow us to do this, blah, blah, blah?" And you know what? It's so awesome that I can say yes, 100%. Same thing goes with other loan officers, in our area. They sometimes call me and ask me, "Hey, can you do this and this and that?" And I got one that called me yesterday, asking me the same thing. I said, "Oh, I just did one of those last week." So yeah, you definitely 100% can do that.
You know why that's so refreshing?
I love that.
You know why that's so refreshing to me? Because that exact scenario, I can hear it in my head right now. My boss would have been, "Well, Grok said that." Immediately they go to AI. Immediately they go to ask ChatGPT. But people trust you over dumb AI, and that's a difference maker.
Well, one of the things that is very important. AI is a great tool. I get it. Okay, but the fact of the matter is getting information from the web. It's getting information from many places. That's the part that we have to be careful that we are dealing with.
Right. Absolutely.
But anybody out there, I've been doing this. I've been in the radio for what? Jesus. Over 7 years I've been doing this. Folks, if you're in the market to buy a home, we have the tools.
Yes.
We have, what is that? What that comedy, joke is like, we have the technology. We have the tools.
We can rebuild them.
We can rebuild it. We can do it. The fact is we really do. Okay? You just have to follow our lead, do what we ask you to do, and I'll promise you one thing, I'll get you to a home. Can we do it in a month? Can we do it in 3 months? Can we do it in 6 months? You'd be surprised. A lot of times I can do it way, faster than a lot of people, think. Somebody told you before, you cannot do this. I'm sorry, you don't qualify for it. You know what? You need a second opinion to somebody. Because in the past 30 days or so, I have deals that other competitors say, no, we cannot help you. And guess what? They're on the home right now.
Right.
Okay. I don't understand it, but guess what? That's okay, because I'm here to take care of everybody else.
And the cool part about that is every time he encounters one of those situations, that's another Jim, Susan, John.
Exactly.
That's another, I've seen a new situation, a new scenario, and now I know which key to use to unlock it for the home buyer.
And we want to take care of everybody. Everybody matters.
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't want people to feel like, oh my God, you can't ask that question. 100% you need to ask that question. I keep saying,
if it's important to you, it's going to come up, at some point. So
there's the saying, there's not a stupid question. The only question that is stupid is the one you don't ask. Okay, you have the capability of buying a home. You're renting. You have a job for 2 years. You do everything. You file taxes. You do what you're supposed to. I'm pretty sure we could buy a house.
Right.
We just have to find the right box for you.
That's right. Okay,
and everybody has to find the box, put everything neat in there, and guess it happened. So you don't have to worry about what's happening in the market and who tell you no before. We'll help you.
That's right. Folks want more information. How do they reach out to you?
All right. So you could reach out to me on my cell number, which is 719-237-4680. Or you could send me an email, Elliot, Eliot, Rodriguez, with a G and the Z, at loandepot.com.
Right. Or just search for Loan Depot on Loan Depot Roswell on social media, and you can find
you can find me
there.
and look me up, and you'll find me.
Well, Elliot, so